1025 The Bone. Real Raw Radio. WHPT, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete. And 1073 WXGL HD2 St. Pete. Live from the WeatherTight Windows studio.
Oh, here we go.
All systems go.
This is the true story about Mac. Check it.
Times are changing, more so each year. But the early morning Stone Pimp is here.
3, 2, 1.
People are expecting quite a bit.
Gotta figure out how to make money on this. I really want to.
I can feel it down in my plums. You're getting a nice bluish hue. Getting ready to take them to the farmer's market.
Okay, baby, but don't hurt yourself with that big juicy hog of yours.
In hard times, or when a man has worked at a job 30 years, they give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, our computer took your place, daddy. That's hard time.
And those cars are going real fast and real laugh, son.
But he's gay. He's blind.
You ready?
Oh, wait. So we're just going to wing it? There's a big difference between winging it and seeing what happens. Now let's see what happens.
And now.
Right now.
Now, it's Senning Show. With your host, John Senning.
And I be catching them northern pike like on the 10-pound test. Success, never fast, taking gas. I be the early morning Stone Pimp. Straight limping, goons farm drinking. At the party, big booty pinching.
Monday, baby. Welcome to Senning Show. My name's John Senning. That man over there, you've probably been listening to for the past couple hours with JP and Monica. That is Dizzy. Yo. We love it when you interact with the program. You want to call 800-771-1025. Hit us up on social media. X and Instagram are the sweet spots. At the John Senning, at Dizzy for Mayor. Dude, this Monday, it felt extra Monday-y because I don't really get the Sunday scaries, as they call them. Like, I don't really stress coming in on Mondays too much. I'm usually pretty, I got some cobwebs to knock loose. But today, I had a little bit last night because we had a freshly scheduled meeting that I think, love our bosses here. Very grateful to be employed. But who the hell schedules a meeting for Monday at 11 a.m. on Friday?
Yeah, that's crazy work.
Yeah, when John Brennan texted me, I don't even know when it was. I think it was sometime shortly before the show on Friday about a meeting on Monday. And I said, this Monday? Meaning like the Monday that's coming up, the one after this Friday? And yes, it was true. We had a pretty damn big meeting. It was not every day you see almost all of the on-air personalities, including, big wigs from sales. All the big bosses were there. And it was all to talk about the Bone Beach Bash, which I got to say, I've been excited about. I was never not excited, but I'm also somebody who, like, nothing feels real until it's almost upon us. And working through the finer points and seeing the schedule before my very eyes really, really made it feel real. And I got to say, it's going to be a hell of a weekend. If you don't know about it, the rooms are technically sold out, so you can't stay there at this point. But the 1025 The Bone Summer Beach Bash is going down at the Sky Beach Resort. It's in St. Pete. I guess you would call it the southern tip of St. Pete before you hit the Skyway Bridge. And I will say this, though. I'm sure that John Brennan and whoever else is going to be touching base with you and Monica and JP, but I think you guys needed to be there.
Yeah, we definitely did. It felt like something that, and here's the thing me and Monica were talking about, because it's like it's hard to win with this because someone's always going to be on air. So I was.
Oh, look at that! Oh, you're getting fresh delivered lunch from the meeting.
Thank you.
See, people are Heather. You're the best. See, Heather looks out for the humanity side of things.
You know who this is from?
Oh, that's
Sandy.
Oh,
This is some Balti Bayou for
I
us.
did not know that. I
Yeah.
thought that was. I thought she was bringing you food from the meeting.
No, this is-
dude, even better.
Let's go.
Oh, we got some Balti Bayou in the house. But back to the.
Yeah, so I assumed something like this would have made more sense if like we do it at like 5 or 6 on just a quick Zoom.
Yeah. I will say it was almost an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was very, very extensive, and I think we're just working through the finer points of the weekend. They want to make sure, and I don't want to tell anything out of school. I think some things that were learned and maybe scheduled and talked about aren't ready to be fully unveiled. But if you haven't been fully in the loop on the schedule, whether you have your rooms or you're just planning on coming out, and I will say this, if you're going to come out, don't worry. Please don't worry about driving. If it's anywhere within the realm of possibility, I would say Ubering is going to be your best bet, so you'll be able to party properly. I don't think parking is going to be an issue, but why even worry about it? So if you're just coming out and not staying there, I would say make your plans now to Uber. But so Friday, I think everybody kind of knows what's going on. It all gets kicked off at 11 a.m. With JP. So you, JP, and Monica will be live to kind of kick off the whole thing at 11. Then obviously we'll be live 1 to 4, Drew 4 to 7. And then I wonder if I'm supposed to share any of this. I just realized that I took an illegal picture of it from the big screen, and I don't know if I was supposed to share it. But a lot of this has already been talked about. We're doing the Kona Big Wave, Pig Out, Pig Roast, which is going to be amazing. Matt and Zach, there were a couple things that I had not shared with you yet, and here we go. I'm going to start telling you. Matt and Zach will be taking the stage at 8:45. They are an amazing acoustic duo who I don't even know how to fully explain what they're like, but they're fun, they're wild, they do things you wouldn't expect them to do. They've got some originals, but I'm sure they'll be doing a bunch of covers as well. They're going to be performing at 8:45. And then, this is the other thing that I don't know if I'm supposed to say yet, but I'm going to say it. The acoustic bonfire party, I believe, has now been moved to Friday night.
Okay.
So that acoustic jam session is going to happen on Friday night at 11. And then on Saturday, I don't know what to say about this, so I'm not going to say much. But if you listen to this station all day, you do know that there was a lot of discussion in the morning with Carmen in the morning yoga.
Yeah.
That was resolved. I just don't feel like it's my time and place to say how it was resolved.
Oh, okay.
All I will say is that Carmen will be doing something earlier in the day on Saturday. But one of the things that I think we did agree upon, which is kind of we're in charge to take the ball and run with it, is the Saturday morning Senning Show Wake and Bake Beach Hang.
Oh.
Which pretty much it's as simple as that. We're going to be hanging out at the beach on Saturday morning. There will be other more physical activities taking place at the same time, and a lot of people might want to go play pickleball, or they've got a giant beer pong thing that's going to be going on, paddle boarding at some point. So kind of simultaneously with that, we're going to be hanging out down to the beach, which should be an awesome time. Mike O is broadcasting live out there. I think I could probably say, again, I don't know if I'm supposed to say these things. I think it's official that The Rock Show with Mo is going to be broadcasting live out there as well. There is a pool party, a karaoke pool party later in the afternoon at 6 o'clock with Drew. He's going to be hosting karaoke. Earlier in the day also, there's a huge neutral pool party all day long, and then going into the night on Saturday, Pitbull Toddler will be performing. There's a late night pool party, and the other thing that I don't think I can or should say yet, there's something really, really cool that they're trying to line up for the late night on Saturday, which my teaser will be. It's in the realm of watching an event.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's just not locked in yet, but it's a really cool possibility, and I'm very excited. And I would say if you've been hemming and hawing about whether you want to make plans to get out there, you should stop hemming and hawing, because it is absolutely going to be probably the biggest, best, coolest bone event in the history of time.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. It's good to see that there's more events that are set in stone, and I'm excited for the Wake and Bake.
Yeah, I thought that was perfect. That just kind of came to me, and the thing that kind of pitched that perked up my mind that way was John in the meeting just said, what do you think you're going to be doing? Like, whatever you may be doing, that's an opportunity to give everybody an opportunity to come out and hang with around you and what you may be doing. And I said, well, I'm probably headed to the beach on Saturday morning at some point. So we'll be having more details about the Senning Show Wake and Bake beach hang that'll take place on Saturday morning. But definitely very, very excited. It's becoming very, very real. If you're not clued into it, July 18th through the 20th, you can come even if you do not have a room. You can still come and hang with us on Friday and Saturday night. It's going to be a hell of an occasion. Before we move on too much, and I've been waiting. I like this dynamic that we're building where we don't tell each other things so that we can tell each other on the air.
Yeah.
And I want to hear what happened to Dizzy on Friday night. But I do have to say thank you to everybody who came out to the Wild Fork and West Chase. Blew me away, the amount of people that came out and also the amount of people that came from far distances. I'm going to feel so bad if I forget names, but Mike came out from Ruskin, Renee and John, they came up from St. Pete. There was another gentleman that came up from Sarasota, tons of people. And it's one of those things where, you know, we say things and I'm passionate about the things that I talk about, but so many people were coming and going, oh, you talk about cooking this and we cook it all the time now. And we're here to get this because we heard you talking about it. And I'm very grateful for Wild Fork and all the people that came out. So shout out to everybody and the good Dr. Barbecue. So you were texting me over the weekend and Friday night, the Mike Calta show, well, really Pitbull Tyler was performing it. Was it Whiskey Willie's?
Yes.
Dude, that place looked tight.
It was.
It looked tight in there. And I know that's the whole idea. They're doing this dive bar tour, but all of the pictures I saw, I'm like, damn, this place is packed to the gills.
Yeah, I was in there for a good amount, but at some point, I was just hanging out with Ian by the door.
I heard him say that this morning, and that was exactly where I would have been. He's like, dude, I'm sweating. I'm in the midst of it. People are trying to talk to me next to the speaker. I can't hear everything. So I was in the back by the door hanging out with the security, and that sounded like a pretty damn spot, a good spot to be.
Smart place to be.
Yeah.
So at one point during I don't even think they were on stage or they had just taken stage. I'm walking through the crowd by the bar, and actually where like JoJo and Johnny B and all of them are, and this person like puts their hand on my shoulder. I'm walking by, and I turn, and he's like, "Hey, it's me, Eddie," or something like that. Right?
Okay.
I'm like, Eddie, who the?
Not a black name, if I may say so myself.
Exactly. So I'm like, who the hell? Okay, and he goes, "I'm the one you hung up on." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, and he grabs me more serious. He goes, "You said I wasn't black." And it's still because I'm a little tipsy and stuff, and I'm like, I'm like, oh yeah. And this whole time he's talking to me, I could tell he's mad.
The energy is picking up. Like you're starting to sense that this man is legitimately mad that we. And if you don't know what we're talking about, last week on Juneteenth, we did a bit of a ticket giveaway. That was really, to boil it all down, the idea was for black listeners only to get tickets. And this gentleman called up, I think, a couple times, arguing that he was black, and in a joking, playful manner. We didn't believe him. Dizzy didn't believe him, and we may or may not have hung up on him 2 times. And you came face to face with the guy.
Yeah. So he kept going and be like, I wanted to go see Bone Thugs, and you hung up because you said I wasn't black. Well, here I am. I'm black. You got tickets for me? He kept pushing.
I do feel like, I don't know if we have any more, but I do feel like, I don't know that his name is actually Eddie, but I do feel like we might have to give him tickets now.
I immediately went, well, it's called Senning Show, not the Dizzy and Senning Show. So this was a sole decision.
I like how, in another scenario, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's my show I'm on. That's my guy. But in this case,
I'm like, well, it's not my name on the show.
Let me give you this guy's cell phone number real quick. I think I have his address too.
Drive here. Show him where he lives. No, but I was like, yeah, well, it was a joke. I go, I asked if you could swim. You said yes, and we hung up. I thought it was funny. I could swim.
Yeah.
I didn't really mean anything by it. I was like, do you want to see Bone Thugs that bad? He goes, yeah, man, that's why I was calling. I go, all right, well, sound blacker next time.
If you're out there, I don't think his name was actually Eddie.
I can't remember. It was something white, though.
Yeah, if you're out there, sir.
Kyle.
And I don't know how we have you prove that you are. Not only now do you have to prove that you're black, but you have to prove that you are who you said you are.
Yes.
But if we can get to the bottom of that, then I do think that we could at least attempt to get you those Bone Thugs tickets.
It got to a point where Johnny B stepped over to us and goes, you guys are scaring the white people. Yeah. I'm like, and I use that as a great time to just run away. Well, I'm done with this situation. I never saw him later again that night, so he might have got thrown out.
So the energy was just mildly scary, not full blown. I'm going to attack you.
There was one point where I went, I might have to fight someone right now. I don't know, because when it's hard to read if someone's joking, or if they're serious and it just sounds funny. That's where I was standing, and I was just like,
Like you don't know whether to laugh or tell him it's okay, man. You're black. We love you.
Like I can see it. I can see it now.
I absolutely believe you. Well, I'm glad that you were not accosted. That is the thing about doing this and going out into situations like that where we say a lot of stupid stuff and we're trying to be funny and we're having fun with people and I think that is just an important note for anybody who's ever on the phone is that nothing is that serious. You know what I mean? Is that by calling, you're entering this world where sometimes you may, I would say we're fairly light on it, but it's not out of the question that you could become the butt of the joke. And it might go a little sideways, but just know that we love and appreciate you and don't beat us up when you see us out in public. I think that's really the note.
That's what we want to punch home. Literally. Don't beat us up.
Don't attack us. That's keep that in mind for the Bone Summer Beach Bash as well. No fights allowed. Senning Show. Are you Black Yeti?
I'm Black Brian.
Brian, you're the guy. You're the guy, dude. Welcome back, man. I'm so glad that you called, and I'm also so glad that you didn't want to beat up Diz. Now, on a scale from 1 to 10,
we were out there to have a good time.
Okay, man, he really doesn't sound black. I gotta say.
I told you.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, sometimes you never know. So I'm glad
you never know.
I'm glad that you did not attack Dizzy. And I was looking to see what Mike Olivero sent along. I'm gonna try to get you those Bone Thugs tickets. What I actually technically have, and maybe something you'd like more. I've got Busch Gardens, Monster Jam, and Bolt's Brewfest. But I'm gonna work on getting you those Bone Thugs tickets. Can you just hang with me through the break?
I will.
All right, good deal. Dude, Mike Olivero, again, there seems to be this undertone from the last week of me annoying people or doing things to people in positions of power that I shouldn't. So I get an email. Oh, you were copied on it, actually. I get an email from Mike Olivero, which I did not think was fake. I didn't know if it was because he was mad at me or there was something else going on, but he sends me an email with a legitimate note that says I'm in PTO, and then it has a couple other notes on it, and then it says, please see your giveaways for this week. And underneath the giveaways, it says 7 Bone prize packs consisting of a random station or movie t-shirt and 2 DVDs. Prizes will be mailed after July 5th. And I looked at it, and I mean, I kind of thought that maybe it was a joke, but my mind went to Mike Olivero's very busy, and I didn't know if he would craft an entirely fake email because that would have meant that he had another actual email right behind it, and so I just read it, and I absolutely thought it was real, so I responded back, and I just said thank you, and sometime later he did hit me back up and said it's just jokes. And it turns out we did have actually legitimate prizes that we'll be giving away this week.
Yeah, it looks like 6 hours later.
Yeah,
it's like jokes.
Well, and that was and I was kind of thinking about it because I was under the assumption that we were cool and that he didn't actually think we were trashing him on the air. But when he sent that, I thought, okay, maybe this is just your 1 week lesson of not to cross Mike Olivero.
Mike Olivero was your Brian for the week ago. I might get my ass beat.
Yeah, he actually was. Mike Olivero has I might or I might not beat your ass energy written all over him. How was the crowd at Whiskey Willie's? Was there anybody that happened to listen to the Mike Calta show and also Senning Show in the crowd out there?
I got hit with everywhere I was walking, just random people who have not said hi to me yet. I'm walking by, all I hear is, "Hey, Dizzy, vroom vroom, baby!" And I'm like, gotta hit them with the vroom vroom back, you know?
I love it. I love that is sticking the way that it is. I mean, I do have to ask you, did you watch the race yesterday?
No. I was out yesterday.
It was pretty damn exciting.
I see your Hendrix cars.
Oh yeah, I did.
That's pretty fly.
I ordered some more vroom vroom gear for myself last week, and it all arrived, ironically enough, yesterday. So I got my Kyle Larson Hendrick hat. I got a Carson Hocevar shirt. So yeah, I'm locked in and locked up. But the thing was, it was rained out for most of the afternoon. It rained up in Pennsylvania for Pocono, so it got a super late start. And I got to say, you will be happy because
I watched the highlights.
So you know
on
that
YouTube.
You know that your boy Denny was up there.
Deuce came second.
He was up there leading the race for a large chunk of it. And then things got a little crazy with pit stops and the stages, and he couldn't end up taking over Chase Briscoe at the end of the race. But it's so funny because they had a couple little video pieces on Denny Hamlin, and I know for all of the people that actually watch NASCAR out there, it goes much beyond the current time. But from my perspective, he is so hard to hate. They did this little interview with him, and he talked about the fact that he had to miss last week's race in Mexico City because he was having a kid. And he goes, at this point in my career, like, these are my championships. Like, having another kid, being there for my I think it's his girlfriend. I don't think they're married. My girlfriend, and being there for my family, like, that is what is most important to me. And as I'm watching this, I go, how is this the most hated guy in NASCAR? And I think it's a lot of his earlier days. I think it's the way that he used to be. People hated him a lot more than they do now, but it sticks with people.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say it because hearing him say that, from what I've heard from him, that's not what you'd expect at all. I'm going to say it, little wimp boy answer, like, "Oh, my family's my championship."
And I think he has that in him now. And again, maybe he. I actually think I might have a clip of him talking about. It wasn't the exact one I was thinking about, but he's talking about missing the race last week.
I'd say, it's hard for me to complain about anything. Mom's the one that's been doing the heavy lifting over the last week or so, but he's been great. Sleeping through the night over the last 3 or 4 nights, and so he's really been great.
You answer after a week off with a pole position. Were you worried there might be, a little rust coming back into the car, even after just 7 days off?
I noticed it probably the first 30 minutes of sim. Actually, I was a little rusty. I kind of shut everything off.
I think there's like the ultimate redemption story coming with him, honestly. I think I feel like it's almost the opposite of Hulk Hogan going to the NWO and turning bad guy. It's like this guy's been a bad guy his whole life, that I think when that moment happens where he eventually does win a championship, hopefully, I think then people will be able to show him the love that they've had inside all these years.
From heel to hero, you think?
Yeah, exactly. I absolutely think he's going from heel to hero.
I like that. Speaking of like heels and WWF and all that, did you see who Ric Flair was with?
No.
Recently, he took a photo with Shiloh Sanders. You know who that is?
Yeah, that's the other Sanders.
Yeah, who's signed? Well, not signed with the Bucks. We got him now. He's on the practice squad. He might make the squad. We don't know. He took a photo with him, and then it's on his IG. You can go see it. But the photo makes it seem like he thinks he's standing next to Shoulder Sanders.
Oh no! Wait, he captions it with the wrong person?
I think he puts Shiloh's name. But he basically at the end of it mentions, like, with Tom Brady gone now, it's good to have someone like you in the room. Like, thinks he's a quarterback. He thinks he's Shoulder Sanders.
Dude, Ric Flair is one of those guys where the whole downfall will be televised.
Yes,
I think it kind of all started, and I've said this before. If you've never watched Kill Tony, that was the first episode of Kill Tony that I watched, where they brought Ric Flair on thinking it was going to be this great moment to have a legend in your midst while roasting people who were trying to do comedy. And I think first and foremost, he was just wasted off of his ass. But he eventually starts breaking down and talking about his kid who died of a drug overdose and how he doesn't want to be mean to anybody, and eventually storms off the stage. And I think that, sadly, from Ric Flair's perspective, this back half of his existence is going to be filled with moments like that, where he's too drunk on stage. He's maybe not sure about who he's around at any given moment. He is old. He's been hit on the head a million times. He's not. I remember not long ago, they were saying, and he was saying, doctor told me if I drink again, I'm going to die. And then at some point he just decided he wasn't going to ride with that. And now, from what I understand, you can find him at any given bar in Tampa on about every night of the week. So
I believe it. In his thing at the end, it says, "In my mind, in Tampa right now. Tom Brady is gone, so you are absolutely the man." Woo!
It does feel like he might think that he thinks he might be talking to a quarterback. At the very least, a quarterback. We didn't touch on the Shedeur Sanders stuff with his speeding situation. Dude, that I will never really understand, especially somebody who has so many eyes on him. I would think that speeding like this, and I was trying to find out exactly how fast he was going.
He was going like 1 something.
It was something insane.
In a 60 or something.
It was something insane. And I don't think, I mean, if someone dies, then I guess it is what it is. But I don't think this is quite as bad as drinking and driving. But at the same time, you have so many eyes on you. You fell so far in the draft, and people are going to be looking to have a reason to not like you or say, oh, well, this is why he fell. He's not responsible. He can't do this. And then within that window of time before you ever even really play a game, you're out there driving hundreds of miles per hour on the interstate, getting yourself in trouble. And this article is from the USA Today that pretty much said the Browns have cut people for less in the past.
Yeah.
And that they're probably going to give him a second or third chance. But at that point, it would not be something that I'd want to mess with if I was him.
He was going 101 in a 60, so 41 miles per hour over. And then I believe last night, he got tagged again. But it was his car, but his girlfriend was driving, and she was going 92 miles an hour.
Dude, some people got that vroom vroom in them. And it's like, what do you – I know that here there's a place over in Tampa, and somebody just brought it up to me recently. It's like a neighborhood. And it's, again, this is for the extremely wealthy, so I don't know. Maybe there's something like this in Cleveland. And to be honest with you, I don't think that it fulfills people's need, because I think the people that really, really want to drive fast, they want to drive fast on the road.
Yeah.
So, but there's a place over in Tampa where I think you buy a property and there's condos and homes on the property, and these people have really, really, really nice fast cars, and then there's multiple tracks where you can go out and just drive your fast-ass car like a maniac on these tracks rather than going. And it comes up every time we talk about the street racing situation in Tampa, because people love to race on the Gandy. People love to race all over town. And people always respond and go, well, you should look at this place. The problem is it's not for the average person. You find anything about it? It's the Tampa...
Is it
Somebody was just telling me that they were over that way.
The Motor Enclave?
That sounds exactly what it is.
I think it's that. Yeah. The neighborhood in Tampa with a racetrack is called the Motor Enclave. East Tampa, near the Tampa Executive Airport and I-75. This 200-acre enclave features a 1.7-mile performance track designed by Formula One track designer
crazy, dude.
Herman Tilke, as well as off-road tracks and trackside private garages. That's pretty cool.
Dude, that's living the vroom vroom lifestyle, dude. If you have picked where you're living and your whole neighborhood is built around the fact that you can go off-roading and cruising around on your own, well, it's not really your own private track, but that means you have a dedication to the lifestyle.
I wonder what the rules are for that. Like, you obviously have to sign up before you use it, I imagine. Like, you get a pass to go on it, and you can go as fast as you want. But people wreck on that thing. So what happens when people wreck?
Yeah, or do you schedule a time, and can you schedule are you racing other people, or are you just going out there? And I'm trying to see. Let me look at the frequently asked questions and find out. Dude, if we have anybody who lives at the Motor Enclave in Tampa, I'd love to know what it's all about. What is the Motor Enclave? It's a premier destination for driving enthusiasts. What type of driving experiences? Range, high-speed laps, off-road adventures, and precision driving courses. Who can participate? Our driving experiences are open to individuals of all skill levels. So it sounds like maybe you can rent the track even if you don't live there. I don't know, but that's a next-level dedication to the game right there.
Yeah, it looks like there has like a little banquet hall. People do big functions there, like proms. That's weird. My prom's at the Motor Enclave. We're going to go racing.
Dude, how great would that be? I will say
$8,000 starting price.
That's just to be that's got to be just to be a member, right? That can't be to live there as well.
No, I imagine it's for to be a member of this thing.
And then just roll up. That's where we're headed, dude. That's where we're headed. Is we'll have our own private studio over there in the Tampa Enclave, so we can just bust out some laps before the show, during the show, and the commercial break.
Live Senning Show from the Motor Enclave.
I bet you they'd like that, just because they probably want to sell spots. They probably want people to know about it and to sell spots.
We got to reach out to them.
Well, I think we absolutely could.
Everett, get on it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, book the Enclave, Everett. Could you do it? Make it happen ASAP if you can. Don't go anywhere. We come back. It is undeniably the biggest news probably in the world right now. We, as a country, decided that we wanted to bomb Iran. And now, if you're not paying close attention to breaking news in the world, they are clapping back and attempting, again, I'm going to dig into, this was breaking as we took the air, attempting to hurt Americans, United States military members over in the Middle East. So I will find the latest updates on that. But one interesting fact connected to it all is where a lot of the planning and ultimately the execution of the Operation Midnight Hammer took place. Spoiler alert, it's here. It's in Tampa. So that's a very interesting piece of this puzzle that CENTCOM here in Tampa made a lot of those calls.
Wow.
We'll hit you with the breaking news and tell you all the details about the impending World War III. Coming up next on more Senning Show. Spring is sprung. It's honestly feeling a lot more like summer out there right now, but a lot of people are moving, and that is a time that can be stressful. Nobody really likes to do it. You got all the bubble wrap and just packing boxes, but the one thing you shouldn't be worrying about when you're moving is the Wi-Fi and the cable, because with Xfinity, it's going to be booming, baby, and it's super quick and easy to set up. You'll have your new home hooked up with the ultimate Wi-Fi experience faster than the time it takes you to parallel park that moving truck. Then you'll be back online with the most reliable Wi-Fi with the best in-class equipment from Xfinity. Kick back, relax, stream your favorite movies, TV shows, while someone else deals with the stuff you don't want to. Because with Xfinity, the only thing you'll have to worry about is remembering where you pack the remote. Make the right and easy move with Xfinity. Check them out online for all you need to know at Xfinity.com/move.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. Download the free Bone app to listen to us anywhere. Sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Get your guaranteed offer at markspain.com.
A lot of people, when they come in, they'll say, this is my last hope. The next step is getting them in the right arch supports. Our goal is to have that long-term change for them, to see someone that is in pain. I change things for them. See how we can help you with a free fitting at the Good Feet store.
John Senning here for Furman Ford, Clearwater's big Ford store. Maybe you've been waiting, trying to figure out that perfect time to get a brand new truck or SUV. Well, let me tell you, that time is right now during the Ford Employee Pricing Sales Event. You might have seen it on the news. You might have heard your friends talking about it, not really knowing what it means. You are going to pay exactly what a Ford employee pays across a full line of trucks and SUVs. This unprecedented opportunity is giving you massive savings on some of America's best-selling vehicles. You need to make your plans now to go see Bob Murray and my friends at Furman Ford today. If you haven't laid your eyes on the brand new, big, beautiful showroom, it really does have to be seen to be believed. They're right on US 19 in Clearwater, and you can always check them out online at FurmanFord.com. Furman Ford, from America, for America. Make sure when you get in there, you let them know that John Senning sent you.
Raise a Big Daddy mug this summer at Hooters. Bud and Bud Light Big Daddies for just $6. Or Mick Ultra for $6.50. Big beers, better deals. Only at Hooters. 11 locations in Tampa Bay. Go to originalhooters.com for one near you.
At Bernetti PA, if you've been injured in an accident, we make it quick, easy, and convenient to hire us. You can rest assured that somebody is on your side. Call 1-800-BERNETTI. We're ready. Offices Lakeland, Tampa, St. Pete.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
You put it off all month, but guys, you need to act now. International Diamond Center's amazing free finance offer ends Monday. So if it's time to pop the question, celebrate a big anniversary, or upgrade her diamond, now is the best time. And this is the best way to buy. You can make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with an unheard of interest rate of just 0%. 0.0. That's all the way to the year 2030. All designer rings and all certified diamonds are included. All colored gemstone jewelry, all fashion jewelry. Nothing's held back. So act now. Get that $12,000 engagement ring with a hand-picked certified diamond and designer setting and pay just $200 a month. Or that $3,000 diamond eternity band, just $50 a month. While interest rates are up everywhere else, IDC takes them all the way down to zero. So you can go big. But time is running out. International Diamond Center's rate relief ends Monday, June 30th and will not be extended. International Diamond Center in Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com. On approved credit.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Take advantage of the Employee Pricing Plus event at Cherry Home Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Save up to $15,000 on new 2025 models and your first 3 payments are on us. At the #1 Ram dealer in the U.S. Tampa is Home Country. Online at cherryhome.com. Call 1-800-210-6286 for complete details.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's your good boy? Oh, who's what? Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free in or out of your vehicle. We can help you find the best battery for your vehicle and budget. O'Reilly Auto Parts has batteries starting at just $89.99. Get your battery tested for free today at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Feel the spark after dark at Busch Gardens Summer Nights. Florida's best thrill rides every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through August 10th. Stay for the new Drone Show Spectacular with an explosive firework finale every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights on the festival field. Listen for your chance to win passes to Busch Gardens Summer Nights.
When it really matters, choose Farrah and Farrah. Here for you, here for good. Tampa.
Now, back to Real Raw Radio. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
You might know nothing, but at least you'll know that thing. Brought to you by Just Call Mo, Tampa's injury attorney. That thing. It's time for That Thing right now on Senning Show.
1, 2, you know what to do.
Wait till I get my money right. I had a dream I could buy my way to heaven. When I awoke, I spent that on a necklace. I told God I'll be back in a second. Man, it's so hard not to act reckless. To whom much is given, much.
One of my favorite moments of the day is when I pop in my first teaser. You've heard us talking about it on The Bone for years now. It really is a product that has swept the nation. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch this brand grow. If for some reason you're still not clued in, it is a pouch that you dip between your cheek and your gum. If you are trying to beat a habit, whether you're zinning, smoking, vaping, dipping, even staying away from the snacks, it can help in all of those departments. I personally am not doing any of that, but I just love it for the energy. It is an outside of the box type way to get a focused, alert energy that I can't find in a can or in a cup anywhere. They've got a flavor for everybody. I like the spicy stuff. Be warned, the mango habanero, the bangin' black cherry is spicy, but they've got fruity, they've got minty, and if you use the code Bone20 at tzenergy.com. You get 20% off. You can also hit up the store locator because they're in Walmart, 7-Elevens, liquor depots, and spots all about town. You can even get it on Amazon. Hit your subscribe and save button, and there'll be a box of Teza showing up at your door every week. We love you, Teza. Why spit when you can swallow?
But homie, this is my day. Class started 2 hours ago. Oh, am I late?
The video is streaming at the 1025 The Bone Facebook and YouTube page if you want to watch the program. It's just so interesting because I think specifically, and not to say that bad things didn't happen all throughout the 90s and things like that, but I feel like our generation has lived through some of the craziest stuff. And all the generations were there, but I mean, we experienced when we were still fairly young. I mean, a lot of us, watched 9/11 unfold when we were, and I'm speaking of our generation in that age range, which is technically a millennial. It brings me no joy to say that. We watched 9/11 unfold, a lot of people on the TV inside our classroom. We were young teens, younger than that even for some people, watching, which was one of the most shocking attacks on any country ever, unfold before our very eyes. And I don't know that it desensitized us necessarily, but then we obviously had COVID, depending on who you ask, may or may not have been an attack of some sort. I just think we have had multiple life-altering things happen during our somewhat formative years into our early 30s, depending on how old you are. So I'm not saying that I always have doubt, but when things start popping off in the world of social media and in the world of sensationalism, the term World War III surely gets thrown around a lot. Of
course.
Like through this whole Russia-Ukraine thing. And let me just give an advisory before all this. I'm not an expert. I don't know about geopolitical happenings. I know what has supposedly factually happened and trying to figure out what happens next. I think everybody's on the same page with. So we as a country, the president had been trying to figure out if we were going to help Israel out and give them these bunker-busting bombs. And when I say give them, I mean have us drop these bunker-busting bombs. Well, what do you know? On Friday night, we decided it was the time to drop the bunker-busting bomb. So I think we can officially say we're involved in this war, in this conflict in the Middle East officially. And I always know in the back of my mind that Tampa and CENTCOM here in Tampa and MacDill are heavily involved at the highest level. But I was watching the press conference over the weekend from the generals and from Pete Hegseth about how they actually pulled off this midnight hammer operation. And I was very intrigued. And I don't know about surprised, but when you live in the Tampa Bay area, it perks your ears up a little bit when you hear these generals start throwing out how much of this was planned and executed from Tampa. I have some of the audio from WFLA on exactly the role that Tampa and CENTCOM played in the I was going to say attack, but it's not an attack. It's a bomb dropping operation.
A deception effort known only to an extremely small number of planners and key leaders here in Washington and in Tampa.
An acknowledgement from the Pentagon crediting U.S. Central Command for the precision strike on 3 nuclear facilities in Iran.
General Eric Kurilla at CENTCOM, who did a phenomenal job, he and his staff, all of CENTCOM. Policy across the board. This was a joint effort.
Retired Army Colonel DJ Reyes says that joint effort was months in the making, and Tampa was right in the middle of it.
That MacDill Air Force Base is the host to 2 4-star combatant commands, U.S. Central Command and U.S. Special Operations Command.
Reyes says these missions require a global strategy, but local expertise.
This was part of an overall operational plan with a lot of prior coordination that's, like any other operation, it's planned.
And while the strike was successful, Reyes warns the U.S. is now entering a complex global chess match.
In this case, you see the United States and Israel with Iran. But there are other players on the world scene that we need to never take our eye off of that actually will have a direct or indirect impact and influence on this situation and this calculus.
So I have a twisted, morbid mind, and immediately my mind goes to, well, to me that makes Tampa a place that they would
Hit,
the bad guys would be interested in. And you have all of these people online that are throwing out the idea that there are somehow sleeper cells in the United States of America, which I don't think is the craziest thing to think when you just realize how many people we have that we don't know where they came from or how they got here. My question that I'm asking to you, Dizzy, first, and then to everybody, 800-771-1025, do you have any level of concern in the immediate time frame when it comes to going out and being in large groups over the next week to 2 weeks when it comes to the idea of terrorist or bad actors being in this country? Do you think you'll change your plans based on anything that's happened?
I think so. I think if I was planning to go to a big event that's held in and I don't want to sound like I'm stirring up controversy.
No, I don't think you are.
Fear-mongering.
No, I think you, and I'm sure people will disagree, and I will just tell you, just to make you feel more comfortable, I'm closer to probably what you're about to say.
Okay, yeah. So any big event that's held at a Raymond James or any Emily or even just huge events.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to scare people away from the beach pass. I'm not talking that.
Hopefully it'll be cleared up by then.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be in the peaceful phase of all of this by then.
But anything that's going to have a large group of numbers in this area, yeah, I would be. And honestly, not just even here. If I was in a major city like New York, LA, Chicago, Washington, I would be on edge.
Well, and I think when it comes to the fact that CENTCOM is here, to me, if anybody had an idea that they were going to be able to mess with anything there or around there, you're then talking about an official military strike, which I do not believe Iran has the capability to do anything like that, nor do I think they want to dabble in that world. But I don't think it's the wildest thing ever to think that there are people who are already here who sympathize with Iran and the other terrorist organizations that they seem to be buddy with that are out there. And it's so weird because I don't know which mind frame to lean into, because there are the people, and I want to think this way, we would let the terrorists win if we change our plans. If we stop doing this or doing that, or just any variation of changing your plans or constantly thinking about it, the terrorists have won. But then there's that other line of reality that we are living in, that we have made a decision, and I keep saying we because whether we like it or not, we all live in this country, and I think whether we like it or not, when an Iranian at this exact moment, especially an upset one or a terrorist, looks at the United States of America, I don't think they're going to be distinguishing between Democrats and Republicans and people who supported this in the first place and those who didn't. I think we're all just Americans and the enemy from anybody. So it's very hard at this exact moment to figure out the level of concern that we should actually have. You know, they put out these travel advisories that pretty much say, you know, things are tough right now. Be on a heightened sense of alert. There was another warning that went out about potential Iranian hackers who could try to hack into certain things. So I think when you go into something like this as a country, you know there are risks that come along with it. And just trying to navigate what that means for the average person, I don't think is the easiest thing. And I don't think the average person knows, like, should I not go do that? Should I still go do that? And you know, I think that our leaders probably don't put a lot out there because they don't want to freak people out.
And I think one of my biggest issues, it might just because all the movies I've watched growing up and stuff, you kind of touched on, like, you know, they're probably going to go not try to hit all these other places. They're probably going to go on like military bases and all those. Sometimes I feel like for instance, if I had tickets for the NBA Finals Game 7 yesterday, I probably would have sold those tickets.
And I saw that being mentioned. I mean, it all happened very quick. You know, I don't know how quick a sleeper cell is activated and automatically gets to planning terrorist attacks, but you know, there was the big race in Pennsylvania at Pocono, and I mean, that's thousands and thousands of people. And I don't think that you are totally outside of the realm of the norm to go, I don't think I want to do that right now. And again, I'm talking in the next 5 to 10 days. Like that's really the window of time in which I'm thinking about. Now, the part that I did not mention yet, and I have the finer details in here, is Iran has launched attacks on U.S. military bases in Qatar over the last hour. And it's so weird. And this part of war is insane to me. Pretty much Iran has now come out and said, well, we gave a big heads up and we let everybody know hours and hours and hours ahead of time so that not that many people would die.
Which is weird.
So it's almost one of these things where I don't know if they're trying to impress the people of Iran. I don't know what exactly their ultimate motive is, but they just say to themselves, well, we have to clap back. We have to do something. Like, we can't not do anything. So let's give them days worth of heads up or hours worth of heads up so at least we don't kill a bunch of people. There is not.
Do you think that's more so other countries seeing that will say, oh, well, they're kind of just trying to defend themselves. They even gave them knowledge.
Yeah.
We should be on their side.
Some countries, probably not the ones that are friends with us for the most part.
Sure.
But
I hope not.
I think there's something to be said for that, dude. One of the most interesting things that are happening in the next 10 days that it's starting to leak into the mainstream media that I will be very, very curious to see if it actually comes to fruition. The WWE is doing a bunch of shows in Saudi Arabia next weekend.
What?
Which say what you want about the idea that we in America could potentially be in danger. I think if you're an American in the Middle East right now, then you might be in a little bit more danger than that, if not a lot more, specifically with a major event like WWE. I think is doing Friday night, Saturday night, and maybe even something on Sunday. So people calling for this to be canceled.
And I get that, because kind of where I was going with it is I think sometimes these attacks are just, we need to send a message and we need to show that country your innocent bystanders can be touched too. So maybe smarten up. And that's what scares me. I think that sometimes they're just like, we need to get them. It doesn't matter how we do, who's involved. We just need to show them they could be hit and attacked as well.
I feel, but the other part of that is I just feel like if they were to, as a country, not some sleeper cell, because then I think they probably try to say, well, we're not really affiliated with them. If as an entity, Iran decided to, let's say, go after a plane full of wrestlers or an event that was filled with American wrestlers, I think that's probably like Iran gets wiped off the face of the earth. Like I really think a move like that, it goes from 0 to 100 very, very quickly.
Oh, of course.
So I think that I don't want to poke the bear. I think they're probably scared. That being said, if I'm the WWE, I'm not tempting fate and I'm not automatically just saying, let's keep it over there. Because I just think clearly unrest and not a very stable environment over the Middle East right now.
Yeah, the tensions are high there. Why would you want to risk your talent and your company and everyone involved by going over there and holding this event still? Just to what? Just be like,
put on a show,
Yeah, we're not worried about it. Look at us. Look at these suplexes.
Well, it's also interesting because I think the WWE at this point, it's not so much of a secret, fairly connected to Donald Trump. I mean, he seems like he's in with Triple H. The Linda McMahon is on the cabinet for the WWE, so you would think there would be some close communications there. Looking at some of the breaking news, U.S. President Trump is monitoring potential Iranian retaliation against multiple U.S. bases in the region, in addition to what has already happened in Qatar, including Bahrain and Iraq, and possibly more locations, according to White House officials who spoke with CNN. So I would say over the next few hours, we're gonna get an idea of how hard they're going to go, and if they are just sending a message, or if they're really trying to cause some trouble.
Out of all the places I'm trying to avoid, do you know where I'm trying to avoid the most with all this going
on? Is it local? Is it like
you could say that? Yeah. It's not really local. It's everywhere, kind of. Facebook. I'm trying to stay away from Facebook.
Oh, just because of what
all
could be
the
happening
posts
there?
you see on there, and how charged up people get over this because they're on one side and someone's left, someone's right. I already try to stay away from that just because of that. Now with this going on, ramped up to 100.
And it is even a little more interesting because I think the lines are getting all jumbled up. Like I don't think that everybody who is pro-Trump would consider themselves MAGA 2 weeks ago is super excited that we're dropping bombs somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I think that's why it's made the lines a little blurrier, but it's not our sweet spot. It's not something that brings me great joy to talk about. But I think when you're talking about a scenario where Americans' lives, albeit currently at this point over in the Middle East on military bases, are in danger, and the fact that these initial bombs being dropped were kind of coordinated right here in Tampa, it's worth talking about. And I will say, shout out to our military, who did seem to absolutely surprise them. They sent out kind of false jets, making them think they were in one place when they were really somewhere else. These guys were in their fighter jets for over 30 hours getting fueled midair to sneak in there and drop these bunker busters. So I am not for war. I didn't think that we should get involved at all. My general belief is lock it down in America, take all of the efforts that we would take to drop bombs and use them to protect people in our country and let everybody else fight their own wars. That's my general belief. But at the end of the day, if you're going to kill Americans, then you're going to have to die probably.
Yeah, if we go to war and there's a draft that comes out, you'll see me go right back to Canada real quick.
Oh, I think we're too old, aren't we? Are we not too old?
We are.
Okay, good. Senning Show, you're on the air. Hello.
Hey, hello.
863, what up?
Yeah, man, I was just calling. This thing ain't going to stop. They're going to keep coming. That's my opinion. I mean, they've sworn for the destruction of the United States, and I know for a fact there's sleeper cells here in America.
How do you know that? You don't have to give me all of your dirty secrets, but how could you say that you know that for a fact?
Well, maybe fact's a strong word, but I have friends that had relatives that worked on the border, and they find these camps with books that are Iranian or that Muslim language to English found in these camps around there. They're all the time arresting them. So they are coming across. It's right after 9/11. I walked into a store, and it was a Muslim store. There were a bunch of men there holding up that green and white flag with that writing on it, shouting and jumping up and down and singing. As soon as they saw me, they looked, and one of them muttered the word kafar, which is,
I believe that's a delicious yogurt drink. I actually like using that. I like drinking that in the morning. Yeah, Kefir, kafar. That is, you misunderstood. That was they were probably excited because they were about to drink their yogurt drink for the day. It's like an effervescent yogurt thing. So
which I get excited over meals.
I got to, dude, I've been on the kafir. I can't believe I haven't really talked about it too much. It's like one of my favorite parts of the day. Oh. Dude, I started drinking this in the morning, and I wake up and I just start looking forward to my delicious glass of kefir. Supposedly real good for like your stomach health and stuff like that. And it is literally like thin yogurt. It's almost pretty much drinkable yogurt. And I pound a cup of that in the morning, and it's everything seems.
I never had this.
Everything seems to be.
It
working
looks
okay.
good.
It's delightful, dude. I gotta say, get on that kefir train. It was so excited. Those Middle Eastern gentlemen were screaming it out on 9/11. All right, one more call, and then we got to take a break. Senning Show, you're on the air or on the line or here.
John and Dizzy, my new favorite show on the Bone.
Oh, what's up?
What?
Vroom, baby.
What are you guys going to do with Tampa being Central Command and Special Operations? If you have to leave Tampa, where are you going to go?
Oh, that's a great question. I hope it doesn't come to that. I mean, my whole thing.
It's like hurricane prep.
Yeah, my whole thing, in every dream that I have and every time I give a rough idea of a bug out situation, I'm headed to the mountains. I'm headed, which trust me, if something major were to happen, the roads would be so clogged. Nobody's getting anywhere very quickly. So I think that vision of where you would go is probably more where would you go locally rather than where would you try to get to in the country.
Well, I live up here in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge.
Okay, save a bed for the crew.
I live on 3 acres. I live 2 miles through the woods to a big-ass river. Sorry. To a big river. And, I got chickens and my dog. What else do I need? I got plenty of room. Come on up.
I was going to say, I'm tracing the call. I've got your point. Yep, I've tracked the call. I have your coordinates and
latitude and longitude.
Yeah, we will be coming to your home if the world ends. Thank you. And again, you let it all up as saying you don't want to freak people out, and I don't want to freak people out.
We're not trying to fearmonger.
Yeah, but I also don't think that this is a remote thought. You know what I mean? I think anytime that our country gets involved in a major conflict, especially with the Middle East, like we kind of stopped looking at terrorists from the Middle East as like the big bad wolf, the way that we did for so long. Like there was the whole never forget thing.
Yep.
It feels like we kind of forgot. Not that just means be scared of terrorists from the Middle East, but I don't think there is that general thought of that area being a threat to us here in our homeland the way that it once was. Like we really went through a time where I think that probably would have been listed as one of the top 3 things from an American to be afraid of out at large gatherings. And I just don't know that is still the thought process for most Americans.
You could also, take it through all the, again, movie stuff where it's like one time all we fought were Russians in movies.
Yeah.
Then Middle Easterns. And I think now it's more like Koreans, I guess.
Yeah, maybe people are like China's on the, like China invading us seems to be a thing that you hear a lot of. All we can really hope for is that Iran sometime in the next 48 hours goes, okay, you got us.
Yeah.
You got us. You ruined our nukes. We clapped back a little bit, but we're ready to talk a little bit of peace now, and let's wrap this thing up. That would be the best case scenario.
Yeah, we're not, again, trying to fearmonger, but it is good to at least kind of talk about what's going on.
So.
And not just ignore everything and be like, everything's going to be fine, because we don't know that.
You really don't know. And I touched on this, and I think we're probably outside of it already. I touched on this phenomenon with people. There's a large community of people that pay very, very close attention to the geopolitical happenings around the world, and specifically what goes on in the Middle East. And their whole thing and their hashtag is nothing ever happens. And their whole thing is shaming people who think something bad is going to happen. And I think you have extremes in this country, like everything, where you have the people that go, well, even thinking or talking like that is a certain level of fear mongering. And then you have the other side where these people, probably went to the grocery store over the weekend. And not that they're planning for it, but it's something that is in their mind as a legitimate possibility. Somewhere in between all of that is probably where the average American should keep their mind frame of just being vigilant and not, like you said, Diz, kind of burying your head in the sand and pretending like nothing can or will ever happen. I hate the idea of people going out less, spending less money at businesses and not living their life. But everybody has to make that individual decision. And there will be some people who will absolutely change their course of life and do things differently over the next few weeks. And those who just go, no, I'm good. I'm going to keep doing my thing. And you can both be right. Do not go anywhere. When we come back, dude, I saw this last week and I forgot to get to it. Chris Brown.
Oh,
a lot of people obviously hate the guy because he beat the hell out of Rihanna, and I don't think he's a very good person. But he likes to bring ladies up on stage.
Yes.
And when he brings them up on stage, it's not just a casual lap dance.
No.
It's a full body, hands-on experience. And I would like to pick your brain about your go-to cut concert where you would allow an artist to bring your man or lady up on stage.
I like it.
And pretty much stick their tongue down their throat, and you'd be fine with it. We'll dig into that and a bunch more coming up next on more Senning Show.
Watched it swell and swelter till it was no melon shelter. Yes, I'm the one that provided your shell in hell and held you when your politicians were welter.
Leaky pipes, cold showers, no problem. Hawkins Service Co. has plumbing deals that'll make your wallet smile. Right now, you can get $250 off when you install a tank or tankless water heater, $100 off a water conditioning system, and they're waiving the service fee with any plumbing repair. Do you need more? How about a $49 drain cleaning or $500 off a whole home repipe? But hurry, these deals flush away after June 30th. You can always give them a call at 813-445-8209. They really do handle it all. Plumbing, HVAC, electric, even pool repair. You can always book online as well at HawkinsServiceCO.com. Hawkins, one call, handles it all.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. Summer is here, and it's time to take that weekend getaway to Vegas, or maybe book that Alaskan cruise. But maybe inflation has kicked you right in the wallet. Well, leave it to Mike Calta to cancel his new order of 14 refrigerators just to give you the Mike Calta Summer Vacay Payday. Listen for the keyword every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get it and enter it in the free 102.5 The Bone app, and you could win $1,000. That's $1,000 that you can use towards a beach vacation, or to buy your own refrigerator, or to just buy a bunch of beer, stay home, and drink them. You know, like a staycation. It's the Mike Calta Summer Vacay Payday from 102.5 The Bone. Real, raw radio.
If you're the victim of a car crash, take back control of your life. Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Summer Sale.
Hi, yeah. My family and I want our backyard to be a summer oasis.
Don't sweat it. Our summer deals are here to help. Save up to 50% off on select items. Plus, IKEA loyalty members can save an extra 10%.
Sign me up. You just saved my summer.
Visit us in store from 5/27 to 6/30 or at IKEA-USA.com/summer sale for more details. Offer valid 5/27 to 6/30/25. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary. See store and IKEA-USA.com/summer sale for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
If you've been hurt in an accident, call Bernetti PA. We make it easy. In fact, you can hire us by phone, over the internet, or we'll come to you. Call 1-800-BERNETTI. We're ready. Offices Lakeland, Tampa, St. Pete.
Hi, I'm Patrick Thomas.
And I'm Heather Thomas from Bolt Electric, where we believe that the right way is the only way to do home electrical.
We believe the National Electrical Code is really the minimum standard, not the maximum standard.
We believe you deserve better electrical parts and better service.
We believe in ongoing training for our electricians.
Because there's no end to learning and improving.
Because at Bolt, we believe your safety is our core priority. Electrical problem? Call Bolt.
Online at boltelectric.com.
Market volatility isn't slowing down. If you're nearing retirement, now is not the time to wait and see. Every day of uncertainty can put your future at risk. It's time to diversify. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know you can create certainty, locking in guaranteed income for life. This means predictable, stable cash flow, even in turbulent times. You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Right now, there are options to receive up to 30% upfront or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't wait. Call Trajan today at 813-550-1000. That's 813-550-1000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any examples provided are hypothetical. Annuities are issued with prospectus and sales brochures and should be reviewed carefully before funding as features and benefits vary. DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Hey, Bay Area, Randy here for Sun Toyota, where the low and locked-in sales event is going on all month long. We've got nearly 1,000 RAV4s, Tundras, Tacomas, Camrys, and Corollas in stock now. Drive select new models with smoking hot prices and low leases available. Plus, it costs less to own a new Toyota with 4-year maintenance included. Because when you make it Sun Toyota, we make it happen.
Toyota.com.
Call 800-639-3367 for more details.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When we place our loved ones in a nursing home, we expect them to receive the best care. We meet with families who learn that their mothers and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers have been terribly abused in nursing homes. Bed sores, malnutrition, broken bones, dehydration, and yes, even death. If you believe that a loved one has been abused or neglected while living in a nursing home, call us. The consultation is free.
Offices Tampa, St. Petersburg.
John Senning here. If you're a homeowner, the time is now to reach out to Reese Windows. Hurricane season is upon us, and if it's anything like 2024 with storms like Helene and Milton, you're going to want that protection. I had the folks from Reese out of my home blown away. I love the fact their products are made in America. They're family owned, and they come with that double lifetime warranty. Plus, they're installed in just 6 to 8 weeks. Get a free quote and enter to win $15,000 in free windows when you text TRUST to 20129. Installing windows for over 50 years, Reese Windows has got you covered.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping when you text EAT to 64,000.
Text EAT to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's EAT to 64,000.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Thank you for making Total Wine & More America's #1 online source for spirits, beer, and wine. Better than all those delivery apps. Total Wine's prices are up to 30% lower with super fast delivery and no hidden fees. Order direct at TotalWine.com and pay less today.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the whoops. Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
1025 The Bone. Real Raw Radio. WHPT, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete. And 1073 WXGL HD2 St. Pete. Live from the WeatherTight Windows studio. And now, back to Senning Show. With your host, John Senning.
Whoa. Do-do-do-do-do. Yay.
Welcome back to Senning Show.
Tell me, fellas, have you seen
I'm John Senning. He's Dizzy.
About 5 minutes ago.
This is a bop still.
Dude, it is. It absolutely is. Don't forget, tomorrow, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we got the Mike Calta Summer Vacay Payday. Your chance to win $1,000. There will be keywords given all day long, up until 5. Right? I think?
Yes.
There will be keywords given out all day. Enter as many as you can, and that will get you into the drawing for $1,000 Tuesday and Thursday. The Bone likes to be hooking you up with money. Dude, I wanted to play it. Did you hear the audio of the last lady that won?
The last lady that won?
It should be playing all hours of the day.
Because there were 2 Vibe winners, right?
They were, but dude, this lady is legit crying. And she's clearly going through some stuff financially. If I can't find it immediately, I'll try to find it before the end of the show today. They need to be, and I'm sure the Vibe will be plastering it everywhere. But this woman, legit, for all of those people out there that seem to have no emotion when they win something, this woman legit broke down crying.
Is it Zell Pier? I think I have it right here.
You might? Okay, let's give it a try. Oh, yeah, Tuesday and Thursday.
Serious.
Yeah, the Bone likes
Hello?
to with money. What is that? I wanted to play it. Did you hear the audio? Where am I? Oh, are you playing the Bone? No, that's you. You're playing the Bone.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, where am I coming? And I'm like, damn, Dizzy really does love me.
I hear that now. Okay, yeah, I had you up on the thing. All right, ready?
I'm like, listen to Diz. Just listen to me.
Yes, who's speaking?
This is John Senning from the Bone. Did you enter win $1,000? You're our winner, baby. You hear me? You're the winner.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, baby. You won the $1,000. I'm dead serious.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
Who did you say? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
Are you really serious?
I'm serious.
Oh.
Yes, I know.
I need to pay some bills right now, immediately.
Yeah.
Well, good. You got the money now to do it. You can go.
Camp Florida.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. That sounded like a woman who really needed to pay some bills immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that, like, to me, because I like some of Chris Brown's stuff, I think that there was immediately a wall built up for me and his music once it became very clear that it was real, that he beat the hell out of Rihanna. Do you think that Chris Brown would be talked about a little bit more like a modern day, the next evolution of Usher, if he hadn't have beat the hell out of Rihanna?
I think it would be even further than that. I think he would be up in the upper echelons, and we'd be considering him the next MJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, damn. That's a.
I think Chris Brown's a better dancer than Usher.
I like a hot take.
And I think that his music, he's had hits throughout.
He has.
The whole time he's been famous.
And I mean, that was that song is one of my favorites of his, an earlier one. But I really do think, especially when you're kind of an R&B, you're an R&B guy who dabbles in the world of love songs and things like that. I think it can kill your vibe and your believability when people know that in reality you were bashing Rihanna's head up against the window. And I think for me, I don't know that I would have been the world's biggest Chris Brown fan either way. I know that I really liked him early on, and after that, I definitely was less interested in buying into him or his career. And there's still songs that he does that I really, really like. But keep in mind, he's not broke. He's touring the world. He's still probably one of the top 5, if not top 10, biggest R&B stars in the game. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, 100%. I was on the same beliefs of you when that came out. I was like, why am I listening to this guy? This guy sucks. You know, who's beating women? I'm not into that. Then when he did the MJ tribute, because MJ passed not too long ago, and he did the whole thing with Thriller and all that, and he ended with Man in the Mirror, and he couldn't even sing the song. I don't know if you remember that.
He was breaking down?
He was breaking down. As soon as the song came on, and he was like, what a bitch. I was watching
Someone should
it.
have bashed him into the window.
And I was just like, maybe this guy is sorry for everything he did, and he's going to learn from this. I was too hard on him. And then you hear all this other stuff comes out with other things he's done, and I go, oh, he's just a slimy guy. Okay, I had to separate the slimy guy from the great music he puts out.
Let me see if I have that. I have it here. I don't know how good it's going to be because I don't think I've seen this video. And so this was in 2010.
Yep.
Stand by. I got it. This isn't it. That's not it.
Yeah, here it comes.
Oh, jeez.
And he's like, if you see the video, nose is gushing with snot, and he's crying.
He's breaking down.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he can't even do anything. Oh, get it together, dude. Come on.
So what I heard is, too, a big part of why he broke down, I don't know how true this is, but the stuff with Rihanna happened 2009. MJ passed away 2009, but Chris Brown was trying to get on that tour. And they shut him down from the tour after the allegations. They're like, you cannot perform.
Damn. So he did not.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson died probably not having the greatest thoughts about Chris Brown.
And that was kind of his thing, is like, my idol died thinking, I'm just a guy who punches women.
Dude, I will say, this is a very, he may be really crying, but geez, man, the dramatics, the theatrics, give me a break, man.
Well, you know what happened a lot after this? He got movie roles.
Yeah.
People go, this guy's a great actor.
Was he in movies?
Yeah.
What's he in?
Movies? Probably mostly dancing movies. But he was in like that heist movie, Takers. He was in Think Like a Man. Stomp the Yard. He died early in Stomp the Yard. But
he dies in Stomp the Yard?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever.
They pitch it like Chris Brown dancing movie. Yeah. Dies in the first 10 minutes.
Dude, I kind of like it because I like to be shocked, but it's interesting when they'll like sell a movie or a show based on a guy that then dies immediately.
Yeah.
It's like the reach of all reaches that I'm about to compare it to, but he's also probably one of my favorite actors, Kyle Chandler, who played Coach Taylor in Friday Night Lights. He was in the show Bloodline.
Yeah.
Just one of my favorites. They did, and this is a major spoiler, so if you're late on it, then you slept on it and it's too late. So when they initially pitched the series, Mayor of Kingstown, it was Jeremy Renner and Kyle Chandler. And I'm like, dude, that is a cast. That is two dudes who are going to absolutely make a must-watch show. They kill Kyle Chandler in the first 10 minutes. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I didn't see that come because the same thing you're saying is the promotion made it seem like you were going to be in the series the whole time.
This is the guy.
Now, you watched the whole series, right?
Yeah, I'm calling.
Do they have flashbacks and at least show him in flashbacks?
No, he's gone. He's dead. He had one. He had one episode. He had one episode, and that's about it.
Nice paycheck to make, though.
Probably. The reason that I'm bringing up Chris Brown in the first place is because I'm looking for you. I'm willing to part with some Busch Gardens tickets today to give your cuck-worthy concert experience, because there is a video out there, and I don't know if he's doing it every night, and this just happened to be one to catch some fire. Chris Brown's tours are known for their entertaining and sultry moments, but the R&B icon just took it up a notch with the Breezy Bowl tour stop in Europe, and I think this was last week that it actually happened. Set to his song Take You Down, Chris Brown brings a young lady on stage where he laid her down on a velvet red couch before climbing on top of her, hitting her with a few aggressive thrusts. And before the lights dimmed, Breezy could be seen moving in towards the visibly shocked fans, where his lips and tongue meet her skin. From the looks of the clip, it's also possible that Chris Brown could have created an illusion of the smooch by kissing her chin. And they have a little video that makes that possible. But there's a type of artist, you know, who's done some freaky stuff in the past, and I don't think she's still doing it today, just to give a parallel on a female side. Janet Jackson would bring some dudes up there and tie them down, hands tied, arms tied, and would get totally freaky with them, getting all up in there on the hog and rubbing it up and down. You have to wonder if, well, first of all,
Rihanna did it too to a couple.
Oh yeah, she's done it a couple times as well. Do you if let's just say it's you and Nicole, and you go to a Chris Brown concert and she gets pulled up on stage and he's manhandling her like this, and eventually
we both going up. If you get pulled up, we both going up.
What are you gonna do? You're just gonna dance?
I'm just gonna stand there and go, hey. Not like that.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not that type of party, Chris.
Because I mean, the thrust, where's the line? Is it the tongue or is it the thrusts?
I think, weirdly enough, I'm more okay with the thrust than I am with the tongue, because the tongue is you're actually now engaging.
And where's that? It's interesting because on my concert list, I have a real problem, because Danielle and I both love Usher. Like, she loves Usher. We've always listened to Usher together. And he's known for, I don't think he's getting up on ladies, but he's doing the thing now with the cherry that's going viral, where he brings the cherry over to the girl in the audience, and she kind of flicks it with her tongue and gets real naughty like.
Yep.
So Usher's in a category where I could see him doing it. And I might be able to look the other way, even if he got real up on her, just because it's Usher.
It's Usher, yeah.
But does he not have herpes? Was that not a well documented fact that Usher had herpes? So it's almost like I'm down with it, but one of the only people that I could actually see it happening also happens to have herpes. So I'm not really sure that I'd be able to make peace with it from that angle.
And what is it, like mouth herpes or herpes? Because I remember the there was like accusations out on him, right?
Does Usher have herpes? Leave it to us. 800-771-1025. If you want to give us your potential cuck concert that you'd let your man or woman be pulled up on stage by, I might give you some tickets to Busch Gardens. Usher has been the subject of herpes allegations, and lawsuits.
Oh, that's what I remember. The lawsuits.
Dude, they sued.
I do remember that.
Dude,
yeah.
What a terrible thing. I'd rather be sued for almost anything else.
Yeah.
Like, to be the subject of a lawsuit because you're giving everybody herpes. He is not publicly admitted to having the virus.
But he settled out of court, so that tells you what you need to know.
Several lawsuits were filed against him, claiming he exposed individuals to herpes without disclosure. Usher has denied the allegations and is seeking dismissal of the suits, arguing that harm was due to the plaintiff's own negligence. So by saying that, are you kind of saying, well, hey,
you never asked.
You hooked up with Usher.
Yeah.
like, what do you think I'm out here really doing?
I'm a star. What did you expect?
A 2017 article from Forbes reported that Usher's team stated he had publicly denied having herpes on numerous occasions, according to a 2018 Forbes article.
I don't believe it. Did you, even with the Chris Brown stuff, do you see that he does meet and greets for $1,000?
Oh, dude, I was gonna bring it up. Yeah. Well, because I guess he just brought him back. And did you see the picture?
With the girl face to face on his lap, and
the picture. The girl is paid $1,000, so she's clearly in on it and fully supports it.
Yeah, it's their choice of how they want to pose.
Yeah, she's straddling him, and he's got her grabbed by the throat and looking deeply into her eyes. So I hate to use the phrase she was asking for it, but not only was she asking for it, she paid for it. So, dude, you know the most. I don't know. I hope that you've never heard of this, but when it comes to pulling a fan up on stage and doing something insane to them, this absolutely takes the cake. It was. I want to find the lady's name. So I don't know if the band still exists anymore. Brass Against. And the idea of what they do is they do these crazy, insane, involved covers of rock songs, and it's a lady lead singer, and they have a huge horn section. So it's like all horns and just a totally different take on rock songs. And the lead singer lady, she's pretty hot actually. Her name is Sophia Urista. Dude, she brought a guy up on stage, just a fan, had him lay in the middle of the stage, and then she went to the bathroom on his face.
No way.
In for real. For real.
And he just sat there and took it?
Yeah, she has now had to apologize for going too far by going number one on a fan's face on stage while insisting she's not a shock artist. I've always pushed the limits. That night, I pushed the limits too far.
Oh, my God.
Are you looking at the video?
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, dude, it's aggressive, dude.
Yo.
That is, I mean, I don't know what makes you think that that's a good idea.
She's waterboarding the man.
Out of all of the things that you could do, why do that? Senning Show, you got a potential concert experience for us?
Hey, how you doing? This is Brian from Plant City.
Plant City Brian, what's up, buddy?
Hey, you know what? I'm a huge Kiss fan. All right, I would let Gene Simmons bring up my girl and let him just put his tongue, well, not anywhere, but maybe on her face is okay.
So, I mean, that seems like a good one. So you're saying if he kind of took that big, long tongue and worked it all up and down on her neck, into her ear, and into her mouth, then you'd just be willing to chalk it up to a legend?
Man, how viral would that go, right? Come on.
It really would. That's a solid concert experience. You're in the front. You're in the lead right now. 800-771-1025.
Listen, you bring your girl to Beach Bash. I can have Medicine Man do that. That's kind of the same thing.
Dude, imagine you just reenacted it.
Yeah, that's
Medicine Man with a big ass fake tongue on, just licking women up and down at the beach bash. Do you have one that comes to mind that's not Usher or Chris Brown that you feel like you would really not just? I think you almost have to, and it's a big hurdle to get over. Not just not be mad, but actually walk away going, "Damn, that was cool that you did that. That was cool that so and so tongued you down like that."
I think it's definitely not a tonguing or nothing like that. I think it would be like a lap dance-esque thing. Like it would suck to see someone doing that, but like maybe someone like Genuine, where he's like a legend.
Oh, dude, that's you got to do better than Genuine. You can't be pimping her out for a early 2000s 90s artist. You got to.
Well, my point
deserve better than that.
Well, my point to that was going to be he's so old, I probably wouldn't care. You know what I mean?
That is a good point.
If he's a younger guy, I'm gonna be like, oh, you let young ass Chris Brown just thrust all over you, huh?
What about
you whore?
What about
R. Kelly?
Again, he's not the kind to do it, but let's just say that in concert he did, because I'm just trying to play to your heartstrings. Kendrick Lamar.
Oh,
takes her up on stage and does something. I don't know what would fit into the show because he's not really a thruster or a dancer. No. But let's just say, he's got that cool ass car up there and he like lays her down on the hood and then he starts just kind of thrusting her. He bends her over and thrusts her on the hood.
No, I'd become a Drake fan immediately. I'd be like, you know what? Drake had a point. F this guy.
Really? I thought that would be playing to your heartstrings.
No, I don't want to say. If it's going to be anything, it has to be an R&B singer who's at least trying to be sexy for the song and all that and make it part of an act. Whereas Kendrick's just thrusting my girl on stage.
He's like, let me see who I can thrust down in here.
My sweet, sweet baby on stage is getting thrusted by Kendrick Lamar. I'm good on that.
I'm trying to look, because the other thing is, too, is there's a lot of the artists that I like and that my wife and I like together is a lot of country artists. So it just doesn't necessarily play into the thrusting and the tonguing.
And it has to be a guy, right? We can't pick a female artist.
For her.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Sadly, no. I think that would just
That'd be cheating.
That would be too easy. I'm looking through artists here. I mean, Zach Bryan, I wouldn't like fully want him tonguing her down or anything.
Yeah.
But if he brought her up on stage and there was like a slow dance element or a
slow dance,
I don't know what he could do.
Why can't Danielle get thrusted like Kendrick Lamar was thrusting Nicole?
I'm just saying a lot of the artists that come to mind are not thrusters.
Okay, so it's like if they did what's it called when they do the little
like a square dance?
Square dance. That's all you're looking for?
Well, I mean,
that's not sexy.
It's not necessarily. Dude, by the way,
what if he's caressing all over her face and body as he's singing the
I'd
song.
let it pass. I'd let it pass.
And then smooches her when she leaves.
Dude, you know who's on this list? I'm down with that. I'm completely fine.
Really?
You know who's on this list that we started his new movie, and he is just undeniably one of the weirdest dudes out there.
Tim Robinson.
No, not him. Is The Weeknd.
You started that movie? I heard it's terrible.
Dude, I was so excited because he had a show on HBO called The Idol, which got terrible reviews. People hated it. It was like must-watch TV for us. We watched every episode. We looked forward to watching it. It was so raunchy and weird and sexually charged and uncomfortable at times. We loved it. So I thought, okay, this is one of the first things that he's done since then. It's also got Jessica Ortega. Is that her name? Jessica Ortega? Jennifer.
Jenny Ortega?
Am I saying this? Wednesday.
Jenny Ortega.
Is that her name?
Isn't it? Jenny.
Why am I second guess that's her name?
Oh,
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna, okay.
She's in it too, so I thought it was going to go somewhere, and then within the first 5 minutes we were out. He also, the first 5 minutes is almost just him performing a concert, so I wasn't really looking for much more of that. Highly unrecommended.
He had some good videos. He has one where it's like a bank robbery or something. Do you remember that video?
Dude, I'm intrigued by him, but he is sleeper weird.
Also, the problem with bringing fans on stage, it's reminded me when you said the Kendrick thing. Do you remember Drake brought on a girl on stage, and then she was like underage?
Oh, yes.
He kissed on her, and he's like, blah, blah. She's like, I'm 17. He's
like, yes.
Oh, no.
That's one of a couple reasons why he got the pedophile tag, I think.
But he didn't rush her off stage when he heard that. He's like, oh, no.
He's
backstage.
Like, oh, no, yeah. Senning Show, you're live on the air.
You speaking to me?
I'm speaking to you.
Feels like it.
All right. This is Dave. How are you today?
We're doing pretty good, Dave. What's going on in your world, buddy?
Good. Well, I got a Vegas story.
Oh, okay.
And this wasn't even somebody famous, but we go to this show. This it's called Absence, and my wife gets us front row, and she looks good. She's Asian and she's adorable. Not just because she's my wife.
Okay.
And the guy sees her and right away announces to everybody, we got a hot Asian bee sitting in the front row.
Wait, what was the show?
Yeah, were you at Big J. Okerson?
Yeah, it's called Absence. It's about that liquor you drink and hallucinate.
Right. So he in this show he said we've got a hot Asian bitch up front. He said that?
That's what he said, but it's a comedy, but also kind of a slash Cirque du Soleil kind of. It's a great show. I mean, especially
So what did he do
very
to her?
That was very cool. Well, anyway, halfway through the show, I guess they're needing to set up the stage. He calls her on stage and puts her on a chair, and I'm looking because I'm cool with it, but I'm watching her. As long as she's not upset, I'm going to go with the bit. He calls up three dudes. One this skinny Indian dude, one this heavy set dude, and then this black dude. And he calls them up, and he tells them that each one of them has to give her a lap dance.
Oh, no, dude. Dude, you don't even have a star dancing on your girl. You got three randos.
No. And I got to tell you, so the Indian dude, he was very polite. That was cool, okay, of course. The heavy-set dude was kind of shy, so I'm sitting there. The black dude, he didn't even put his drink down. He won. He totally tore it up.
Did he put it on her? Did he put it on her good? What kind of moves was he busting out?
Well, if I did moves like that, I'd probably have to go like to the chiropractor.
Did he pick her up?
Day. So no, he had the moves. No, he did a good job. It was hard to stay in my seat. Not at that point, just the whole thing. Seeing her, put in that situation. But she's the one that bought the VIP tickets. So
I have to say that somehow. Hang tight. I'm gonna give something to the Kiss guy and you.
You gotta let him. He got his wife three guys on her.
That's the three.
One put it on her shoulder.
And it's not even like a star did it. I mean, it just three. If I'm the guy hosting the show, I would go down and whisper to the who I think is the spouse or the man and go, hey, I'm gonna have some rando guys come up here and put it on your wife. Is that okay?
Is that cool?
It seems like you'd be asking for trouble if your whole thing was I'm just gonna have random men come up and get all up on another dude's wife.
Yeah, I would definitely be rushing the stage. Yeah, all right.
But you think you would, but I wonder.
You think I'm just going to be like,
no? I think it's more of a social experiment. Going back to the rehearsal, to the pilots. Like in that moment, would you go, am I going to stand up? Am I going to let it be known in front of these thousands of people that, because at that point, like, it's a major scene.
Yeah,
like,
you got to Will Smith it at that point and go, I'm pulling this whole event to a screeching halt with this slap I'm about to do. What do you mean?
Who are you going to slap first?
Everyone.
The Asian, the Middle Eastern, or no, it was overweight, Middle Eastern, and black.
Yes, and then Nicole, and then the guy hosting it, and then Nicole again.
Everybody's going to get a little bit of something. Do not go anywhere. If you're still on hold, hang tight. I'll try to get to your call after the break. Dude, we talk about it a bunch. The phenomenon of vaping and what happens if you vape your entire life. Well, a guy who's been vaping a long, long time is ringing the alarm about what can happen. It'll have you thinking twice about your Hubba Bubba vape cartridges that you keep. We'll dig into that and a bunch more. Coming up next, more Senning Show.
When I drink red wine, I've only got you on my mind, the things we do.
If you've considered getting new windows, it's time to get in touch with my buddies over at Reese Windows. With hurricane season not just coming, it is here. It's the perfect time to protect your home with hurricane impact windows from Reese. This American-owned company make a product that is affordable, energy efficient, and come with that double lifetime warranty, which even transfers when you sell your home. And right now in this market, people are looking for all the edge they can when it comes to selling your home. Reese installs windows in just 6 to 8 weeks. So if you're trying to get them in before hurricane season really ramps up, do it now. For a free quote, text TRUST to 20129, and you'll also be registered for a chance to win $15,000 in free windows. Reese is proud to support St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and they're providing peace of mind for over 50 years.
That's so good, sensing I've never been lower.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. Tell us what you think. Head to the 102.5 The Bone app now and leave us an open mic. The open mic on the free 102.5 The Bone app is sponsored by 1-800-ASK-GARY.
Your water may not be safe. Forever chemicals that stay in the body for years have been found in drinking water, linked to kidney cancer, testicular cancer, and ulcerative colitis. If you or a loved one was diagnosed, you may be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan is investigating these claims now. There's no cost to get started and no fee unless we win. Call 1-800-555-6666 or visit forthepeople.com/PFAS. Offices Orlando and throughout Florida.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
John Senning here. Are you ready to win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows? Well, pick up your phone right now and text the word TRUST to 20129. That's TRUST to 20129.
Enjoy revved up summer savings at Crown Hyundai.
Get financing as low as 0%. Buy with zero down or make no payments for a year on over 700 new tariff-free Hyundais. Drive a new 2025 Hyundai Elantra SE for only $99 a month. All are backed by Owner Assurance, America's best warranty, including a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Crown Hyundai, the better way to buy and service.
Visit CrownHyundai.com.
With approved credit, 24-month lease, 10K miles a year, $59.95 due at signing, plus dealer fee and electronic filing fee.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call Trajan today at 813-550-1000. That's 813-550-1000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
School is out and summer is here. Wherever you plan your summer vacation, make Crown Kia your first stop. During the Kia Summer Sales Event, drive a new Kia K4, just $219 a month, or a new Kia Sportage with a special low 1.9 APR. Test drive your new Kia today at Crown Kia, the better way to buy and service. Call 1-800-371-0942 for complete details.
Are you ready to elevate your social game? This is John Senning here for Kava Social Club in downtown Bradenton, your go-to spot for fun and relaxation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is not just any hangout. It's a community social club with incredible weekly events on Wednesday, karaoke night, where you can unleash that inner rock star. On Thursday, test your knowledge with trivia night, great questions, great prizes, and even better company. You need some relaxation? Well, treat yourself on any one of their many massage nights and let your stress just melt away. Showcase your talents at open mic night or strategize with fellow enthusiasts with the ever-popular Sunday Chess Club. The night market is a must-visit with local vendors, delicious food, and handcrafted goodies that are sure to make it a night to remember. Dive into the amazing events going on at Cavo Social Club today and visit them online at thecavasocialclub.com and on social media at Cava Social Club. Cava Social Club, where your vibe attracts your tribe. Boola, baby!
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQBar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQBar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping when you text EAT to 64,000. Text EAT to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's EAT to 64,000.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Hockey, beer, boats. Tampa Bay's favorite hat trick is back. The Lightning and Creative Loafing present Boats Brewfest, presented by Publix. Friday, August 1st at Amalie Arena. Sample hundreds of local and international beers, games, and more. Get info and tickets at boatsbrewfest.com.
Involved in a car accident? We understand the pressure you're under. Call Farah and Farah, Tampa.
Now, back to Real Raw Radio. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Now, back to Senning Show. With your host, John Senning.
Thank everybody who came out to the Wild Fork in West Chase this past weekend. An amazing event. This was the third one we've done. Definitely the biggest turnout. It warms my heart that people come out in the first place. But when people come out and go, oh, yeah, you turned me on to the elk. I've been cooking it all the time. Oh, yeah, I made chimichurri skirt steak tacos for my family because I heard you talking about it. I absolutely love Wild Fork. It is a company and a business that I frequent often multiple times a week. It really is a thing. I think so many people, they go to the regular grocery store and they look at the meat section and they go, I've cooked all of this 1,000,000 times. I don't know what to do. Well, now you have a new option and it's Wild Fork. They've got locations in South Tampa, West Chase, and St. Petersburg. I was walking around the store on Saturday, and as somebody who's always on the website and in the store more than often, there are still things I'm finding that I have never cooked. Dr. Barbecue was grilling up the mushroom truffle skirt steak, which is absolutely amazing. I left with one of those, and he also did the garlic crusted wings, which were money. Dude, you can get an entire, they are, a side note, providing us with the pig for the pig roast at the Bone
really?
Beach Bash. Yeah. And they have, I had the picture. Dude, they have entire small pigs, like an entire pig wrapped up in pig. It's a pig. It's a suckling pig right there in the display. Everything that you can think of, from rare wild game, bison, yak, kangaroo, duck, rabbit. I don't know if I already said rabbit. To the stuff that you need to cook dinner for the week for your family. Chicken breast, ground beef, and everything in between. They've got it. Check them out at wildforkfoods.com. Dude, I decided yesterday, one of my favorite easy sleeper things to cook. I've had to have talked to you about this before. Dude, the poor man's burnt ends.
Oh,
You're familiar
yeah.
with burnt ends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the easiest thing to do ever, and I got the good all beef hot dogs from Wild Fork. Dude, just you take the hot dogs whole first, put a binder on them like some mustard, season them with a good rub, let them go. The hot dogs, let them go in the smoker for like an hour, then chop them up, put them in a little, aluminum throwaway pan deal, add in some brown sugar, some barbecue sauce, and then let them go for a little bit, and you get these delicious glazed, they're hot dogs at the end of the day, but elevated hot dogs, and then they call them poor man's burnt ends. So easy to cook if you're looking for something easy.
You like to cook.
I do. I love to cook. I'd be
awesome.
cooking.
Yeah.
I'd be cooking. The other thing, I guess we did it on Saturday night. Another stupid easy thing on the smoker is smoked cream cheese. We do that probably once or twice a week, and then just have it with like some veggies or something. You can just score it up, throw some rub on it, and then you can let it hit in the smoker for like 220 for 45 minutes to an hour, and it's a delicacy. It's very, very good.
I don't want you doing work out there like this, but wouldn't it have been cool if they had like a Senning smokehouse or something like that?
We threw some things out there like that. There was some conversations, and it seems like there's still a little bit of room for possibilities, but after the meeting we had today, and if you missed the first segment, we had a big all-staff meeting minus JP Monica Dizzy to talk about the finer points of the Bone Bash at Sky Beach Resort. And there's some really, really cool stuff that I hope is going to be announced. Some I feel comfortable talking about, some I don't. The one that I think we kind of nailed down for sure will be Saturday morning, the Senning Show Wake and Bake Beach Hang, where it will be that simple. We're going to be hanging on down the beach, and everybody will be encouraged to come hang out there. I think simultaneously there'll be some more physical activities going on, like the pickleball type stuff, the paddle boarding, and all of that. But there's going to be so many opportunities for you to hang with all of the personalities from the Bone. It's starting to feel really real. We're seeing the schedule come together more and more every day, and I'm very excited. I'm also excited to see, so the Thought Circle, I guess, is not happening, but I have a feeling that one way or the other, JP will be doing something at some point.
Yeah, it's funny because he asked us about the meeting, and we're like,
he had to have been. He was like copied on the emails, probably. Right?
Yeah, he knew there was a meeting, but he's like, What are they going to talk about? What's happening?
Yeah.
We're like, we don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a you thing.
Yeah,
this is your show, dog.
Yeah, it was a hefty meeting. I mean, it was like an hour and a half, and to get all of us in one room doesn't happen very often, anyways. But it was very cool. A lot of creative minds throwing out different ideas, and obviously the powers that be that make all this possible were there as well. So if you didn't get a room, that's not happening. But I will say, make your plans to be there, because it's going to be, I have no problem saying, the greatest event in the history of 102.5 The Bone.
Yeah.
I think to have all of us together for days on end, including multiple live broadcasts, parties by the pool all day long, every day, it's just going to be wild.
What are if you had to make a Rushmore of the Bone events, of the best Bone events,
wow.
what would have been on your Rushmore? You want to say this where Drew comes in, see what he says?
There are some that I just think of in my head when I was on promotions at the time, so it's I look at some of these events through a different lens. Dude, the first Punch Out at Ferg's was a spectacle. Like, I remember, especially as somebody who loves, the wrestling and the combat sports and stuff, just to see that many people there. for an event like that. I just remember it blowing my mind. So I think the first Punch Out has a place at the table. The Bone 10 has a place at the table. It's weird because there's also the stuff that I remember not even being a part of, and that would be the draft that they did with the all-day broadcast, which even if I wasn't here was absolutely one of the coolest things that they've ever done. And then there was one other one that just popped into my head, and I think I lost it. Oh, again, I was in promotions, but it was just really, really cool, was the roast of Cowhead. The Cowhead funeral. That was a spectacle to see as well. So I think this era of the Bone is due for some major events, and I think this one's going to it's going to blow a lot of people's minds. So make your plans, even if you don't have a room to come hang all day. And I said it earlier, I say it again. You should be Ubering. Make plans. Yes. Make plans to Uber. This person's been holding for a moment. Senning Show, you're live on the air. Who's this?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. I just wanted to chime in on West Chase location this weekend. I went there.
Oh, did we see each other?
No, I didn't. You were not. I think you were already gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Nevertheless, but you were like one of the first things that I mentioned when I got out of the car, and dude was standing there, and he's like, can I help you? And I was like, okay. And I can't tell you, young people nowadays, they're, not very manners or respectful. This dude was just like, he's like, you got a list? And, goofy. I was like, yeah, my mom gave me one.
Dude, is that the guy that was right at the front door with the red hair?
Yep.
Dude, that guy, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but I was blown away as well at his customer service and how much we were chatting for a second. And he was telling me, he's like, dude, I just love food so much. Like, this is essentially my dream job because I just get to be around different people always cooking cool foods and stuff. So yeah, that guy was on it, and I'm glad you had a good interaction with him.
He went above and beyond, and then when it was all of a sudden he kept going, did you get your free sample? And I go, no, but I will, when I go to the car. And he's like, hey, and so I went back in and I gave him $10.
Oh, look at that! You're a sweetheart.
And so all of a sudden he's like, no. And I go, yeah. I go, you didn't have to treat me like you did. I mean, he literally pushed the cart around the whole store.
That's amazing.
Filled up everything I need. And I said, I heard John Senning on the radio, and they're like, oh, John, yeah, wow, that's cool. But, I mean, just everything so far that I've tried has been phenomenal. I just wanted to say thanks for the heads up.
Thank you to you. Thank you to everybody. That's another thing, too, I don't talk about enough. Wild Fork seems to be able to employ people that are just on it. You know what I mean? I think something like that, little experiences like that where someone goes above and beyond, you don't find that everywhere. So it definitely it makes a big difference.
I will, speaking of the weekend events, with the Pitbull toddler thing, probably shouldn't say this. I'm going to say it anyways. Oh, when we had to go there, you had to give a password to get in because it was at capacity.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think the password was?
It's nothing that it's just bone centric.
Mike centric.
Refrigerator.
No, that would have been a good one.
Apple cider vinegar.
No. 2 words.
Drain fly.
It's a band.
It's a man?
Band.
It's a band. Pitbull toddler?
Pearl Jam.
That was who knew the code word?
Well, we texted because when we got there, I pulled out with Pap up, and then he texted Mike and them.
They must have just said, if people have this word, then they're in with us.
We started rattling off words, and I went, Pearl Jam. He goes,
so you guessed it? Oh, damn, that's pretty impressive. That's damn impressive. Because I teased it, let me pay off on this real quick. We talk a lot about just vaping, and really the angle of it is not knowing what happens when you vape for long periods of time. Like, we don't have those people necessarily that have vaped for 30 years quite yet. Well, this guy is probably as close to long term as you're gonna find, and he's trying to ring the alarm for people to not vape. A man who was left with the lungs of a 70-year-old is urging people to avoid e-cigs at all costs after doctors say that his habit triggered permanent lung damage, among other things. Jacob Temple, he's from Kentucky, first started vaping when he was 12 years old. He is now 24 years old. He suffered a near fatal heart attack, and once he got brought into the hospital, medics discovered his addiction had left him with lifelong significant scarring on his lungs. He's now taking to social media saying that he feels like he's constantly breathing through a straw and warned that the habit almost took his life and that he's not out of the woods yet. His case is undoubtedly alarming vapors and parents out there, is another example of the youth vaping epidemic, which experts have called disturbing and demand immediate action to stamp out. It's one of those things where we're in such a, sometimes I think we in the United States of America are almost victims of our own freedom. Like we have freedom. Like we love it. We love it so much that you could create anything, even if it is in real time killing you, that when you try to take it away, people will go, oh, you're coming for our rights, man. Like, you're coming for us. What's next? First it's the vapes and then it's the guns. And I'm not here petitioning to say take all the vapes off of the shelves. But if we start getting widespread proof that these will kill you and ruin your body after about 10 to 12 years, maybe we do second guess. But really, what we got to second guess is wondering if smoking is just healthier than vaping.
That's good.
Dude, bring back,
what a weird way to look at it.
Dude, well, I mean, bring back Old Faithful.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people, I think in the early days of vaping, it was kind of sold as, well, this is the new healthy alternative.
Yeah.
You can still get your fix. You can still, be inhaling something. And I think some people in the early days probably got on the vape train thinking they were doing something better.
I think I'm worried a lot about Nicole and her.
Is she a vape?
She's a big vapor.
And so what's in? Is it just so that's just like is it nicotine?
I think it's just nicotine and
like
it's
bubblegum flavored or something?
Yeah, it's a certain flavor. It's like cheesecake or something like she likes. A certain flavor. She won't get any other flavor unless she really has to. But the way she is addicted to this thing, like we'll be in bed and she will freak the F out if she cannot find it. She's like, it's not next to me. Where is it?
I've heard of that, and I will say, I do not think she's alone. I think there are millions and millions and millions of people out there that have that. And the thing is that it's so casual. You know what I mean? Like, you live in an area where you smoke, and we all know smokers that if they're not able to smoke inside somewhere, it's a constant smoke break. They got to go after every meal. They got to go, and it's ritualistic almost. The most hardcore smokers, how they smoke. But when you are a vapist, it's rip and go. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be a ceremony. You have to go outside, pull it out of the pack, light it with a lighter, be somewhere where you can actually smoke. When you vape, like you just said, I find it hard to believe that she would light up a cigarette in bed.
No,
but the ability to just rip a vape anywhere, always, all the time, I think also leads to how bad some people's lungs are being affected, because it's just, you're getting way more vape smoke than you ever would if you were breaking it down by trying to smoke cigarettes.
She's at the point where, like, we'll go to a movie. We went and saw How to Train Your Dragon, and she hit it in the theater and blew it. Big old cloud, and someone turned around. I had to go, I'm sorry, these are the immersive seats. That's dragon smoke. It's dragon smoke. Like, and I had to play it off that way. I'm like, if you don't just chill for a second, dog.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's kind of like we said last week with the pens. It's just, we're in a time now where you could just hit them anywhere. Really,
you really can. And I think it even places where you're not supposed to be vaping, it feels like you can still vape there.
Yes,
like the vape police are not very strong, and it also dissipates. I'm not saying this is an argument to smoke in public or vape in public, but by the time you vaped it and somebody smells it, it's gone.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they come around, they're like, you're vaping? You're like, nah, I don't know where that came from. I don't know where the smell of cherry vanilla raspberry came from. That was somebody else. Go ahead. Nope, that was a sign from God not to take it. What were we going to say?
No, I'm the same way with you. Like, Pitbull Toddler, I was hitting it all through not the vape, but,
the other vape, the cool vape.
The cool vape.
The cool vape, as
all
we call them.
through the bar. And you're not allowed to smoke in the bar, but I would literally be next to a security guard, hit it, and they would just look over to the side and just kind of shrug their shoulders, like, oh, well.
Dude, with all of those people and all that body heat and all the other smells that were permeating through the business, I would imagine vaping was the least of their concerns on that night. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to dig into John's Joints. A lot to get to today. We will retouch on what's going on in the Middle East. If you missed it earlier, some missiles have been launched from Iran at U.S. military bases. At this point, I don't think there's been much damage or death. We'll give you the latest update on that and some lighter stuff as well, like which states love their OnlyFans the most, and a grandma who is keeping her grandkids in cages. All that and a bunch more coming up next in John's Joints with Drew Garabo.
This crazy life, trying to be everything can make you lose your mind.
Even thinking about it, you're wondering when is the time to do it, to go solar? Well, the time is now, and you need to do it with Solar Bear. The average customer saving over $2,000 a year by switching to solar, and Solar Bear is a local company that's been in business for over 10 years. The dirty little secret is a lot of these companies are global. They don't have connections to the community. That is not the case with Solar Bear. They've served over 10,000 satisfied customers with a 4.7-star Google rating with over 1,300 reviews. That's they got to be the number one solar installer in the state of Florida. I'm somebody who likes it broken down in a simple way for me, so here's the simple way I can break it down for you. They have an insane special going on right now. Sign up and your first 12 months will be completely free. That means your power bill goes way, way down. If it's a smaller property, in some instances, your power bill will be eliminated and you will have no payments on the solar. That means you're going to have a year of saving major money. Do whatever you like with it. No payments for 12 months. Call them today for a free estimate or check them out online at solarbear.com.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. Breaking summer news. All the rooms at the Sky Beach Resort for the Bone Summer Beach Bash are completely sold out. But good news, you can still come out and party for free. Neutral presents the Bone Summer Beach Bash. An entire weekend of awesome events and hanging out with all your favorite people from the Bone. Plus, it's absolutely free to get in. It's all happening July 18th through the 20th at the beautiful Sky Beach Resort in St. Pete, a bayfront oasis with a private beach at the southernmost tip of St. Petersburg in the Skyway District. No matter what you do, don't miss the Bone Summer Beach Bash, presented by Neutral and 102.5 The Bone. Special thanks to attorney Patrick Smith.
Hurt in a slip and fall? Take back control of your life. Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
Ah, La Galleria.
And of course, American touches like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin. Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Hi, I'm attorney Fran Hosh. Being involved in a car or motorcycle accident can be stressful. I've dedicated my career to helping accident victims and their loved ones. If you need an attorney you can trust, give me a call today at 866-LAW-FRAN. We will give you a free case evaluation and won't charge you any fees unless you recover money. Give me a call today at 866-LAW-FRAN, 866-LAWFRAN, or visit me online at lawfran.com. Main office, Palm Harbor.
At Brandon Honda, get 0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 first payment, 0 do-it signing. Hi, I'm Sam Robbie. Get a brand new Pilot for just $399 per month, new passports just $329 per month, or get a new HRV for an incredible $149 per month. Plus, get a real nationwide lifetime warranty, unlimited time, unlimited miles. Visit BrandonHonda.com to get your best price and payments right online. Get all the facts at BrandonHonda.com.
Call 813-279-1222 for more information.
Have you ever taken your family to dinner and been shocked at how expensive the bill was? Or gone to the doctor and been surprised by a large bill that was sent to you later in the mail? There is over $22 trillion in U.S. tax-deferred retirement accounts like the IRA and 401k. So do you know how much you will owe in taxes on those accounts in the future? Hi, I'm Rebecca Walser, principal of Walser Wealth Management and a tax attorney. And right now I want you to think about how much you've saved in your own deferred retirement accounts, whether it's $250,000 or more. Guess what? That is not all of your money. You will have to pay those taxes in retirement as you withdraw it when you have no income. At Walser Wealth, we created a retirement tax bill calculator to show you what you will pay in future taxes on your accounts, and it's free for you to use. Go to mytaxtest.com. Knowledge is only power when it's followed by action. Knowing your future taxes, we can show you strategies that might help you lower them and lower your tax burden overall in the future. For now, use our free tax calculator, mytaxtest.com, mytaxtest.com.
Dead Air Day is Saturday, June 28th at Shark Coast Tactical. The crew from Dead Air, the best suppressor manufacturer in the world, will be at the shop and on hand to walk you through the best the industry has to offer. And if you don't have a suppressor yet, what are you waiting for? With the new norm of 3 to 6 day suppressor wait times and the incredible deals at Shark Coast, make plans and clear your Saturday now. Gear up and save big at Shark Coast Tactical this Saturday, June 28th for Dead Air Day. Shark Coast Tactical is often imitated, never duplicated. Shark Coast Tactical is on Beer Ridge Road in Sarasota. Look for them on social media and tell them Mike Calta sent you.
If you've been hurt in an accident, Burnett EPA is here with a quick response. One call and we're on it. It's fast, easy, and focused on you. Quick action, real results. Burnett EPA, we're ready. Offices Lakeland, Tampa, St. Pete.
This hour of Senning Show is brought to you by Hawkins Service Co. One call handles it all.
1025 The Bone. Real Raw Radio. WHPT, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete. And 1073 WXGL HD2 St. Pete. Live from the WeatherTight Windows studio. And now, back to Senning Show. It's time for John's Joint with your host, John Senning.
Welcome back to Senning Show, John's Joints. We're firing up the news of the day the only way we know how. I'm John Senning, he's Dizzy, and a man who's putting in a full day's of work, a full day's work.
Yeah.
A full day's worth of work. Drew Garabo.
This ain't work, though, John. This is play, baby.
Yeah, those meetings. I was going to say the meetings are like as close as we get to work, but even today's meeting didn't feel super worky.
No, it's all like everybody contributing for a really fun event, and everybody in there just throwing ideas out, having fun.
I don't think it would be the worst idea ever to do that more often. Like at the very least, like quarterly. I think there's something to be said for people, for us all getting together at one time and just throwing out ideas and going off of ideas. I don't know off the top of my head the last time, and again, minus Dizzy, Monica, JP. I don't know the last time that everybody was in the room for something like that.
No, and it was really great to have everybody throwing out ideas, helping each other out with segment ideas and stuff. It was really good synergy.
Yeah, and I think I said it earlier. I said, well, Diz, I'm going to pitch Dizzy's question to you that he asked me.
Oh.
I said I think it's going to go down as the greatest Bone event ever.
Oh, my God,
If you had to rattle off a couple of what you think are the greatest Bone events ever, what would they be?
Like your Rushmore.
The Rushmore of Bone events, definitely the live, the draft, and then the live show that we did at Hard
I wasn't
Rock.
even there for that, and that went on my Rushmore.
That one, I don't remember which punch out it was. The last was it the last one or the one before that?
Last one was 4. That was the one I.
The one at
fought
Janice?
Hoppy. Yeah.
Was there 4?
Yeah,
There
I
was
fought in 4.
4?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there were. I swear I only thought there was 2.
Spanish fought 4 times, right? Because he stepped in the first one, and he only lost 1, and that was to Grammatica. That was 3.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize there was that many. How many were at? Oh no, because there was the one at. There was the original at Ferg's, and then they went to what? LBC. There was 1, and then there was. Does that mean there was 2 at Janice? Are you sure that there was 4?
It was definitely 4 because I remember it was like a fist punch, and it was like 4.
Yeah,
I fought in it. I definitely remember.
Yeah, you did.
You absolutely did. By the way, I don't like bringing it up on the air, and I never do. But since we're all here together, and it ties right into what he was saying, did anybody see the image that that so and so made and then shared on social media? That's now being shared all across the internet.
No, who? What,
I saw
where?
it first on the Bone fan page. Here, I think I have it right here.
Ryan Hoppy made an image, which I never feel like, and not like he's coming at me personally, but since it does pertain to the station, I think it's funny enough to bring up an image that he created.
Was it the vasectomy one?
No. This one is pertaining to, I guess, really Mike. I guess more so Mike.
You didn't make it a radio. God.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that sometimes I feel like it's just piling on, but when you do things like that, I think the average person looks and goes, dude, you're delusional.
Yes.
Like you need to talk through that, because if you think you're in the process of making it, I think you're mistaken. And if like from a perspective of like, what it could actually look like if you did.
Yeah, there's an element of fake it till you make it, but there's another more overpowering sadness to it. And I think you and I both really had a soft spot for the kid and really tried to help him get out of his own head.
Not me.
Yeah.
One thing I love to look at, because someone mentioned this, so I was like, I got to go check this out on this thing. Is this real? His Twitter, nearly 7,000 followers. He's tweeting to the void.
Oh, yeah.
You have nearly 7,000 followers. Even that tweet with the photo, 0 engagement.
Yeah, I thought that was. I saw the same thing, and I go, I thought that maybe would ramp people up, but and I think at some point you go, okay, maybe I gotta churn up a little controversy with the big boys in town to make people talk about me. Which look, it's working. But when I saw it, it was like a facepalm moment of that's. I don't think that's what we're looking for. John's Joint brought to you by Bubble Down Car Wash, the greatest car wash in the whole wide world. Right now, if you haven't noticed, it's raining almost every afternoon, sometimes in the middle of the night, which means it can have your car looking not so great, even if you just cleaned it. That's why you need to think about the unlimited membership plan, which means you can go through as many times as your little heart desires. They've got locations in Tampa, Brandon, Riverview, Wesley Chapel, and Palm Harbor. They're working on a bunch more locations, definitely south of the Skyway coming soon as well. Those long wash tunnels mean your car will be cleaner. Get in there today. Let them know that you heard us talking about them on the bone, and you will have the cleanest car in town every time. Bubble Down.
Apple a Day Prom and
dude,
Down to Bowl.
I was absolutely remiss by not mentioning the Apple a Day Prom. That's probably 1A, one of those. That was an unbelievable.
So great.
Okay, now my Alzheimer's is kicking in. Did we do one or two of those?
Two.
There were two. One of them sticks out more than the other one. I don't know which one it was.
Was it the one where we wrapped the?
That one was good. That's probably
boys.
the one. That's probably the one.
Yeah. That was a good Nova 535. Everybody showed up from the station, raised a ton of money.
I feel like you would have been here, Diz. Were you here then?
When
during the proms that we did?
I think that was when I had to do overnight. So I couldn't go at all. Anyways.
So you were holding it down.
Those were fun.
Those were crazy. I think trying to capture those is like that is something else that we can take to the writing board. And I said it earlier. I hope that this opens up the floodgates on the return of we talk about all these events. Let's face it, they're all kind of a while ago.
Yeah.
So maybe this kind of opened up the floodgates of getting back to these big events that everybody's kind of involved in.
Would love that.
Dude, this was crazy. When I started seeing the pictures yesterday, I was glued to social media to see some of the photos that looked absolutely fake. Did you see the multiple water spouts that were just off of the Skyway yesterday?
Yeah.
They're saying that they were. I don't know if there were more than the original two, but multiple water spouts spotted in the waters around Tampa Bay. People taking videos from the Skyway. There's another video out there of people on their boat, which were, I guess, where they were right off of Anna Maria Island. And there's two right in front of them. And this lady got a video and a picture where it looks fake. I mean, it looks more like a Midwestern tornado than a water spout.
Those were insane. Our buddy V. Joe posted a great shot of two of them by I think it was the Bradenton Riverwalk.
Yeah, so many pictures hitting social media. Reports from Bradenton, areas like Anna Maria Island, Palmetto, the reports came in around 5:30. They showed the water spouts approaching the shore as storms move through the area. The dual water spouts could even be seen from Sarasota Bradenton International Airport. It's so crazy because they're skinny, but they look like they could cause damage, and they pop up time to time, but they just never really make it on land. They just kind of chill out there and suck it up, and then they're done.
I want to ask Mike's weather page this, but I'll ask the next best thing.
I'll do my best.
Can that kind of water spout? What does it take to turn that into a tornado?
A tornado, yeah. I'm not fully sure because I know it's pretty much feeding off of the water, and I think there have been reports of a water spout coming on land. I want to say that I've heard something about its ability to move. Like they don't run like a tornado. You know what I mean? Like when you see it, they don't. And I'm not sure scientifically what's happening, but they don't really move like that. A lot of times they come down, they form, and then they're gone. You don't see them whipping across the water and stuff like that. So I think there's something about them being a water spout in general being stationary rather than moving. So,
got you.
But it's crazy.
Terrifying.
And shout out to all the people who got amazing pictures. They say they did move slightly northwest away from land, and no tornado warnings were ever issued for the area, which is so crazy.
Yeah, and then was it Midwest that had bad tornadoes this weekend too? Jesus, man.
It really, dude, the weather, it's hard to know if the weather is really getting much worse, but it surely does, because there's also catastrophic things that don't ever really make the news. Like I know there was terrible it was tied to that storm that canceled Bonnaroo within Tennessee and West Virginia. Entire towns and areas wiped out from flooding down, from the mountains and stuff. And maybe these have just happened all through time and through social media. It's easier to look at them and go, oh, man, it's really ramping up. But it surely does seem, whether it be heat or cold or hurricanes or tornadoes or flooding, that it all seems worse than it ever has before.
Yeah, I think we are in for one hell of a storm season. Didn't Mike say that there's an invest out there right now?
Yeah, it's expected to be what do they call it, a fish storm or something. It's going to curve away. It's the first one, though, Invest 90, that they're watching, but I don't think at this point it's expected to do anything.
Good.
It's really those August, September, October that, we're all just waiting for. Everybody's got a little bit of I think it just depends on your level of experience from the last storm. I think you have a small group of people who still go, well, I waited it out and nothing happened to me. I ain't worried. Nothing ain't ever going to happen. And then you have the people who go, yeah, that one freaked me out. It was a little too close for comfort. And then you have, I won't say the majority, but a lot of people who are like, yeah, I lost my house. Yeah, this happened. That happened. I moved. And those people, I think, are really in for an emotional experience. I mean, once that first storm is potentially coming and we're in the cone, I think you're going to see a lot of people with a lot of raw emotions coming to the surface. And, I don't know what that will look like, but, be kinder than even we'd like you to be in the past in this upcoming storm season, because people are afraid.
They are. And Sanibel Captiva just got back open for business, and all it's going to take is one major storm in that area.
And it's even the stuff like the flooding. Like I saw some of the storms over the past couple of weeks that we've had, South Tampa, Seminole, I know areas of Bradenton. Maybe it's always happening, and now because of all the water and flooding we had last year, we're just on high alert. But it sure seems like the water is rising in areas that it wasn't really rising before.
Yeah.
So, this was on the table last week, and I'm sorry I didn't get to it, but now we've got some audio from the sheriff, who is a close connected friend, as we can call him, of Volusia County, that really is the icing on the cake here. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood is slamming a father who is accused of leaving his 18-month-old son in a hot car to die. We've seen some bad ones, and there have been parents doing some bad things while they forget that their kid exists. This is up there with the worst. Volusia County deputies worked with the Ormond Beach Police Department to arrest Scott Allen Gardner, who is 33. Investigators said Gardner left his son Sebastian in a hot truck for more than 3 hours on June 6th while he got a haircut and went drinking in the Hanky Panky's Lounge. During that time, Sebastian's body temperature reached 111 degrees. According to investigators, Gardner found his son deceased in the car after he left the bar. Instead of calling 911, deputies said that Gardner drove to his mother's house and then called for help. But by that time, the police believed that the kid had been dead for hours. Jeez. The sheriff said Gardner went out for more drinks with his mother at the lounge following the toddler's death.
What?
Gardner reportedly gave multiple false accounts of what happened to authorities. And then there's some comments here that I think I have the audio for. And Chitwood is the man. He is he is cut from a similar cloth than Grady. He takes no BS. And here were his comments.
This father is a human piece of garbage, and he's a lying sack of shit. And he's exactly where he belongs to be, behind bars. He's facing felony aggravated child abuse and felony aggravated manslaughter. So my hope for him is every night when he closes his eyes and every morning when he opens his eyes, his son Sebastian sits there and says, "Dad, why did you do this to me?" Because there is no reason for this little boy to be dead.
And this doesn't seem to fall into the classifications. I think there are kind of two general classifications of, not that we've had the discussion a million times of, can you see how it could happen? Right. Most people go no. But there are those people, and they'll say, this was our routine every day. I didn't have to drop this kid off at school one day, and somehow you just forget. Right. They're crushed. I don't think the average person can get on the same page with them or understand how it happens, but it seems to be a tragic, insane accident of sorts. Then you have this other classification of people who do not care at all, and it's hard to understand how it's anything other than them just maybe actively trying to kill their kid.
This dude was 33 years old. The haircut, okay, let's suppose you have to watch your kid during your haircut. You want to leave him in there with the AC on for a half hour, 45 minutes. Not great, not ideal, probably not going to kill him. Why do you go drinking at a bar afterwards?
And then after it happened,
you go out with your mom.
Well, you can't die any more than this, so better go keep this buzz going. What a loser.
I will say that that part was interesting to me because are we to believe that he got to the house, went to his mom's house, and then went and had the drinks after? Because I would imagine he was arrested almost immediately. Like, I don't think there would have been time for him to call the cops, have the cops come, and then for him to go drinking after.
Maybe he left him with the mom is like, well, the cops are on the way, so
yeah, but he said he went drinking
drinks?
with his mom.
Oh, he did?
That's what
I didn't hear
said.
that part. Oh, my God. So his mom's a monster, too.
So did the cops then come while he was drinking with his mom?
Maybe.
And how did they find out?
Maybe. I sent the video to myself late last week because they have the video of him being arrested.
Excuse me, puppy.
He was just being taken from a home. So they seem to have not got him at the bar, but there almost needs to be, there needs to be almost a stronger charge. And I don't even know if stronger charges in situations like this have a long-term effect on the people that would or wouldn't do it in the future. But when you do it so brazenly without a care in the world, I'd like to think that those charges would be way ramped up from the parent who, quote unquote, forgets that their kid was in the car.
Yeah, they all have the common denominator, right, of that you didn't care enough about your kid to take care of it. And I don't see how this could happen to anyone, but there are people who do. Yeah. And if your routine's disrupted, like you said, you shouldn't do it, but you got out of your regular routine and accidentally did it. This is no accident.
This is not that. And it's just also, it's so rampant. And I feel like the summer's kind of starting, and I think we've had a couple, maybe a few across the country already. But, the one point is that it's such a rampant issue that now cars are made with features that try to get you to triple check or tell you to check the back seat. Like, how far have we fallen as parents and in a society that there now is technology be like, hey, don't remember you have a life that you brought into this world that may or may not be cooking in this back seat.
Right.
Like, it really is was it happening? Like, I'd love to go back to the 60s and know, which I imagine it wasn't kept as tight tabs on. Was it even happening at all? It feels like something that just gets worse and worse as society moves on.
Right. Well, I think we're like 100, maybe 800% more distracted right now because of these damn cell phones and those cell phones only. And that's why it's happening.
That's a good point.
Ugh.
We touched on it earlier, but we'll give you all the latest now. I think I've uncovered everything there is to tell right now. Iran has launched multiple missiles against an American military base in Qatar earlier today in retaliation for the U.S. strikes earlier this weekend. Iran was in contact with Qatar ahead of its attack on the Al Udeid air base, and the Trump administration was aware of the threat in advance. A source familiar with the situation telling this is Axios, the U.S. had good advanced warning of the Iranian attack. I don't want any bombs. I don't want any bombs fired really anywhere ever, but it is such a weird gamesmanship that it's like we're telling you ahead of time so that it then becomes okay, or that it then you can get your people out. But I mean, who are you doing it for? Like, are the people of Iran, are they all chanting, death to America, like looking at their leader saying we have to do something? Who are you actually trying to appease if you're doing things that you've pre-planned so there's not tons of damage?
You and I are wondering the same questions. I guess I'm an optimist in that I'm hoping that they had to make a symbolic response, but they didn't want to kill innocent, or not innocent, but American military members. So they're like, hey, we have to strike back, get your forces out of these bases, and we're going to strike them at dawn. But then, is that, I don't know, is that really war?
Yeah, I don't know. It is like this little side game of war where it's just things become symbolic. Iran's Supreme National Security Council released a statement claiming the number of missiles fired at Qatar was equal to the number of bombs the U.S. used in its strike.
Okay.
Signaling, they say, a desire to de-escalate. The base was targeted in the attack by powerful Iranian forces, was far from urban facilities and residential areas in Qatar. This action did not pose any threat to our friendly and brotherly country, Qatar, and its noble people. We were touching on, I think I mentioned it to you in the office earlier, one of the interesting elements with Americans over in the Middle East over the next 10 days is the WWE going to Saudi Arabia. And a lot of people automatically saying, what are you doing? You need to cancel this. You have to wonder if in that situation, are you worried more about, and I don't know who's working at the behest of Iran and who isn't, but there seems to be two things. the Iran government and then the terrorist organizations that are associated with Iran and possibly funded by them. Because if Iran is doing this and giving everybody warning and not wanting to kill innocents in a way, I don't see them taking out a plane full of United States wrestlers or trying to attack an event that's full of people from the United States. You almost wonder if the concern with events like that becomes the rogue terrorist elements that I'm sure thrive in certain parts of the Middle East.
Islamic State and whatnot.
Yeah.
My concern with Qatar is their number one most interactive food-related video game. I don't know if you know it or not.
Yeah.
It involves making a Greek sandwich out of lamb, and it's called Qatar Gyro.
I thought you were going to go in a different direction, and I don't know how to get there.
All right, come on.
Yeah, I don't know how to get there.
All right, where are you trying to get to?
Should I just give you the punchline and see if it work better? My punchline where I thought you were headed was turd Qatar.
Oh, that's good too. Turd Qatar.
I don't know how to get there though.
Me either. I'll figure it out.
I really don't. Another interesting little anecdote coming from the world of the attacks in Iran. Los Angeles police have scrambled to delete a bizarre social media post about the conflict in Iran after it was widely slammed as embarrassing and offensive. The L.A. County Sheriff's Department expressed condolences for the tragic U.S. bombing of the Iranian military sites on Sunday in a since-removed post. Our hearts go out to the victims and families impacted by the recent bombings in Iran. While the tragic event happened overseas, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is closely monitoring the situation alongside our local, state, and federal partners. Social media users were quick to slam the post as out of touch and inaccurate, given there were not any confirmed deaths. It came after police faced heavy criticism for allowing anti-ICE and No Kings riots to spiral out of control in L.A. just weeks ago.
Boy, L.A. has lived out, huh?
It really I would think there's about at least 5 people that have to look at a post that goes out over social media from an entire sheriff's department of one of the biggest cities in the country. Like, you would just think that, I mean, it happens all the time where something gets put on social media and you go, do you not have a bunch of people to make sure that this is good? And nobody thought, maybe not wishing condolences to Iran right now is the move. Let's tweak that word to make that a little different, and maybe it'll be a little more palatable.
Yeah, that takes the Free Palestine to the next level.
It really does. This is a local story, which is kind of confusing to me in some ways, but also good work on local and federal law enforcement officials. I think I'm going in a different direction than you think I am.
Damn it.
The United States Marshals Service partnered with multiple federal, state, and local government agencies to conduct the most successful missing child recovery operation in U.S. Marshals Service history. Operation Dragon Eye was a 2-week initiative designed to recover or safely locate critically missing youth across Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Pasco counties. And maybe you guys can help me piece together exactly who they were looking for. The unique part of this operation was the fact that underage, critically missing children ranging from 9 to 17 were not only recovered, but were debriefed and provided with physical and psychological care. The operation further included follow-up assistance and hope that these youth will return back to the streets to not be further victimized. According to the USMS, critically missing children are those who are at risk of crimes of violence or those with other elevated risk factors like substance abuse, sexual exploitation, crime exposure, or domestic violence. So I just think when a lot of people think missing children, you think back of the milk carton, these people were kidnapped, these kids were kidnapped, or somebody took them, they were playing in the backyard. These missing youth seem to be from a different category. Do you, Drew, understand a little more of how they got to where they are?
I think so. I think it's more of the custodial type situation, like a parent hasn't returned their kid because just like you, I thought, exploited kids who are out there being trafficked. Yeah. But I think they kind of knew where these kids were for a long time and just waited to act.
And I think there is at least some element of human trafficking and sex trafficking. Operation Dragon Eye was much more than a U.S. Marshal program. It was a community initiative. And they say, in addition to recovering missing children, the operation also arrested 8 people with charges that included human trafficking, child endangerment, narcotics possession, and custodial interference, which would be kind of what you're alluding to.
Yeah.
According to the St. Pete Police Department, officers located 11 missing juveniles just in Pinellas and arrested 2 people, one with human trafficking.
That's great work.
It's crazy that you could get that many. how many kids are in situations like this?
I know.
If you can find 60 kids in 2 weeks, how many are really out there?
God, that's so tragic to think about, right?
And a lot of them, like you said, maybe once you get into the older ranges, the 13, 14, 15, maybe some of these kids are kids that ran away and they're quote unquote left on their own free will and their own volition, and then they're now around people who are doing drugs and they're hooked on God knows what drugs, and they just want to find them and help them get the help that they can need ultimately.
Yeah, and yet again, it expels that how important it is for parents to keep their kids off the damn social media, because that's how the predators get a hold of them.
It really is, man. I mean,
It's
it's everywhere. It's the places that you don't even think of. I mean, not necessarily speaking of instances in this case, but how many times now have we seen things like Roblox, the places where you probably go, okay, well, we're only going to do the apps that are friendly for kids.
Right.
And then guess what? That's where they go. That's a thread all through our society. I think that you look at what's going on with teachers and in churches and all of that, and what came first, the chicken or the egg, but they go there because it's a place where adults you think would be trusted, and ultimately they know there's going to be children who are vulnerable.
And even without the apps, just social media in general, the kids connected to other kids. Remember the story of McKenna, the young lady who took her life before school started?
Oh,
hockey goalie.
Yes.
Her mom wrote a column in the Tampa Bay Times about what exactly happened. She's coming on the show next week in studio. Yeah. Dude, these girls were brutal. They got a hold of an inappropriate picture of McKenna and annihilated her over it and just wouldn't let up. And she thought she was past it. And then right before school started, they started again and then uncovered allegations of sexual abuse and whatnot. She took her own life 2 days before school started last year.
How old was she?
15, 16.
Dude, that's insane.
What an epidemic.
How many adults do you think you talked to when you were younger and you were on like the AIM chat rooms? And when you hit them with the ASL, they'd be like, 15, male, or female.
I mean, probably a lot. And I mean, now it's just, you think about the effort in which it took to get to something like that. In its earliest days. Like, I remember we didn't have the internet. So our neighbor had the internet. We would all be gathered around the computer. We'd go to these weird little chat rooms or wherever just to, God only knows what we were doing. But the effort that it took in those days, and now all of that bad is multiplied by 1 billion, and it's in your hand. It's in your living room. It's everywhere you go. And I think every day creeps are finding new ways to try and get into places where kids are, and it's crazy. Yeah, there was an article, I don't think I got to it last week. Do you know, is there a legal element in that case? Like, is she going after the school district or anything?
I think she might be, and I think I know the story you're talking about.
That was in California, I think, and they said it could be precedent setting because spoiler alert, this is not a first-time thing, and it's happening all over our country where kids that used to be within an age range that you never even thought of suicide being an option are now taking their own life because of bullying. And it's like you hear parents that go, we went to the school. We told the school, we dealt with the school 15 times. We went and had meetings and nothing. Like, if the school cannot stop kids from terrorizing other kids, they should tell you that so you can get your kid out of there.
Boom.
They should have some sort of admittance where they go, we don't think we can stop it.
Right.
We've done everything we can. And if it's not in my perfect world, you get rid of every kid who is the problem. Because I don't think the kid who is the victim should be shipped out to go do something.
No
but
way.
if you thought you've done everything you can to stop the bullying, to stop the torture every day, because I really do think these kids are being tortured.
Yep.
Then you tell them, we can't stop it. You need to go find a new school. You need to think about homeschooling, whatever it may be, because we don't feel we have the power. Because if you don't do that, I think these school districts should be on the hook for money.
Yeah, and parents don't want to uproot their lives, right? Because they've been working a job that they love for a long time. When you think about what the downside is and the risk is that your kid could take their own lives, I think it's worth uprooting and starting anew somewhere else.
Yeah, and you do wonder, to connect the two, we've got the parents now here locally that are going after the school district for the teachers having sex with the students and doing naughty stuff. You got the parents going after the school districts for the bullying stuff. You almost wonder if that's what had to happen. If it just is almost known now that these school districts are on the hook for what I would imagine in some cases is debilitating money to the entire district if they don't monitor their people. And
it's time to be a parent.
It really, dude, and it's so crazy because I still think, as much as we talk about it, these situations might not be in the top 5 things that parents worry about on a daily basis.
I agree.
And
should be.
How do they get there? I don't think we want to know the answer. Don't go anywhere. We come back. I will say the back half of the joints a little bit lighter. We've got some OnlyFans data about which states are the horniest, have the most OnlyFans models, and the OnlyFans ingesters. And also, remember a few weeks ago, the alligator attack that happened to the kayaker?
I do.
It has now gone national. In the headline, the headline, I will say, is a little sensational. Alligator attack on 20 kayakers.
20?
Yeah.
There's more details that we definitely didn't know about. We'll touch on that and a bit more coming up next in John's Joints. But first, we love telling you about Win Derby here in beautiful St. Petersburg because we love spreading the word. Not everybody understands that it's a return to the good old days of gambling and table games. They've got $5 minimums at some of the tables, free cocktails while you're playing games, even free appetizers. And if you think you don't know, these new giant murals will teach you everything you need to know about Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, and these card games are very social, too. You can bring in a group of friends or make new friends there. The dealers are always super friendly and informative, and by the time you're all said and done, you might hit a royal flush that gets you tens of thousands of dollars in a progressive jackpot. Check it out at the legendary Win Derby.
You always, in this area, when you live in Florida, people are coming to visit. What a great thing to do if you got people coming into town to take them out to Win Derby, or if you're looking to host your own event. They've got everything you need to host an amazing event. Check them out online for info on tournaments and events, win-derby.com. It's win-derby.com.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. Stream Real Raw Radio live. Anytime on the free 102.5 The Bone app. Now, a Bone traffic update from the Farah and Farah Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center.
No major traffic problems are being reported at the moment, and we're still looking pretty good along the interstate systems and the Bay Area bridges. However, in Tampa, you may still encounter some activity from an earlier crash along Dr. King at 50th Street. This is Jim with traffic.
After you've been injured at no fault of your own, you shouldn't be stuck footing the medical bills or dealing with lost wages. Farah and Farah's accident attorneys are here to make it easy. Contact Farah and Farah, 1-800-500-5555, farahandfarah.com. Make it a Farah fight, Tampa.
The bigger, better, faster summer event is on at Jerry Ohm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get deals on over 1,000 vehicles in stock during the Employee Pricing Plus event. Save up to $15,000 on new 2025 models, and your first 3 payments are on us. And don't forget to visit our website and enter for your chance to win a new Ram 1500. It's all happening at the #1 Ram dealer in the U.S., Jerry Ohm. Tampa is Ohm Country. Online at jerryohm.com. Call 1-800-840-0798 for complete details.
I'm honored by the number of referrals that Bernetti PA gets from others in our legal profession. We have represented clients referred to us by other law firms and even represented judges. They've called us. Why shouldn't you? Call 1-800-BURNETTI. We're ready. Offices Tampa, Lakeland, Pinellas.
Hey, Bay Area, Randy here for Sun Toyota, where the low and locked-in sales event is going on all month long. We've got nearly 1,000 RAV4s, Tundras, Tacomas, Camrys, and Corollas in stock now. Drive select new models with smoking hot prices and low leases available. Plus, it costs less to own a new Toyota with 4-year maintenance included. Because when you make it Sun Toyota, we make it happen.
Sun Toyota.
Call 800-639-3367 for more details.
It's really difficult to trust someone in this crazy world, but you can trust Good Greek Moving and Storage. They have an extensive hiring process that sets them apart from any other moving company in the country. Very strict. Every employee has to go through the Superhero Movers Academy, so that when they show up at your house to move your stuff, you know you can trust them. They are a full-service relocation company, way more than just a moving company. Get a free moving quote by going to goodgreek.com.
I'm Altima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation.
Call 800-838-8614. 800-838-8614. That's 800-838-8614.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
$30 ticket to summer starts now. Make it a summer of live music with $30 tickets to great shows at Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. Hurry while supplies last. Check out over 1,000 shows for $30 at LiveNation.com.
When it really matters, choose Farrah & Farrah. Here for you, here for good. Tampa.
Do rain or bugs have your car looking dirty? Well, Bubble Down Car Wash has you covered. They offer longer wash tunnels, powerful vacuums, and the friendliest staff. Check out BubbleDown.com to find a Bubble Down Car Wash location near you.
Now, a weather update from the Sun Toyota Weather Center.
Toyota.com. I'm meteorologist Jim Weber in the Sky Tower Weather Center. Any storms winding down for this evening. It's going to be another steamy night under partly cloudy skies. Low temperature down to 77. Then as we head into tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. Look for more of those storms around during the afternoon hours, but rain chance only around 30% and a daytime high of 94 degrees.
Now, back to Real Raw Radio. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
And now, back to Senning Show. With your host, John Senning.
Welcome back to Senning Show. Friendly reminder, tomorrow and Thursday, you'll have your chance for $1,000. It's the Mike Calta summer vacay payday.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
You have a keyword every hour, taking you up till 5 o'clock. Register as many times as you can to better your chances of winning $1,000. And who doesn't need $1,000?
Yeah, win Ben Stein's money.
Oh, dude, I almost forgot about that.
Ben Stein.
Oh, damn, dude. Oh, wow.
Bringing you back.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
Bueller.
Well, that's a good question.
He's got to still be alive.
I think he might have passed.
No, he's alive.
He is alive.
He's 80 right now to this day.
Dude,
He's dead to me.
We went down a weird rabbit hole of looking up. This is a weird parallel to draw, but we were looking at we were watching Days of Thunder and Robert Duvall. I'm looking at Days of Thunder, and I just said, Robert Duvall has been old for as long as we've known him. I mean, I know that he did stuff earlier in life, but so Days of Thunder is like 1990. How old do you think, off the top of your head, Robert Duvall was in Days of Thunder?
Had to be 60s.
He was 60.
Seemed like he was older than that.
It's just so weird not that 60 is old,
right?
But if you look at him, you go, well, that's an older gentleman, and he's still alive, and he's like 94.
Is he like the white Morgan Freeman? Where it's like we only known him as old, and he's always only been old.
Kind of. There's the other one.
Wilford Brimley.
Yes, who...
Cocoon.
Did he just always look old?
Yes.
Or... Because that's another phenomenon. This isn't necessarily it, but that when you go back and you look at what people in their 30s and 40s looked like in the 70s and 80s and even the early 90s, everybody looks like they're 50 years old.
Wilford Brimley, when he did Cocoon, I think was like 49 years old. And as a kid, he looked 80. And then the one that always gets me... The age of the Traveling Wilburys when they did that song "Handle with Care."
Because they were all old, or they
were all
young.
They looked old as hell, but they were all, including Roy Orbison, I believe, younger than I am now.
Yeah, it is.
Jesus.
There's a lot and when people try to explain this away, they say a lot of it is style of hair, style of clothes. Like now, I don't know what it means to dress hip or dress younger, but I think that there's more to it. There were even the things that would have been considered cooler or hipper for a 30-something-year-old person in the 70s and 60s weren't necessarily cooler or hipper unless you just look like a total hippie.
Yeah, and I think some of us, my generation, we just refuse to grow up. Like I'm never gonna dress like a 55-year-old in the workplace. I'm gonna wear a band T-shirt and friggin' flip flops.
Yeah, Lost Boys for life.
Hell yeah.
That's actually a good point. Is that I don't know that you had as many people doing that, at least looking like that. You know what I mean? And then at that point, what would that have even looked like? Like if you grew up in the 50s. Then what would dressing like a kid even look like? Like dressing youthful. At that point, dressing youthful wasn't even still probably looking youthful.
Yeah, I get the feeling the youth of the 50s even dress like old people.
Exactly, which is kind of fun. Before we get into a couple more joints, we love telling you about a great event that's coming up, I believe, let me do the math, this weekend. Get ready for Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. It is Saturday. I'm sorry. I did shake you off. That's my bad.
Get ready for an unforgettable day on the greens, the first annual Budweiser Folds of Honor Charity Golf Classic. It goes down Saturday, June 28th at the Chi-Chi Rodriguez Golf Club. You're going to get amazing lunch from Abe's Place, dinner from Fresh Kitchen, well, they'll be fresh, and there'll be complimentary beverages all day long.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day of golf and celebrating our armed services. It is Folds of Honors Golf Classic, budgolfclassic.com. I will be playing in this. I would love to see you out there this Saturday, 1 o'clock tee time. Get there a little early. We'll hit some balls. We'll have some fun. budgolfclassic.com out at the legendary Chi-Chi Rodriguez on McMullen Booth. budgolfclassic.com. Me, Todd Wright, a whole bunch of people out there looking forward to seeing you.
Play for a cause, swing for a hero. Sign up right now, would you? budgolfclassic.com. I had this, and I didn't realize how much it tied into what we were talking about right before the break, because it was a matter of time before the tables got turned a little bit. And I can't help but feel like we were talking last week with Danielle about how, like, I'm just a worrier in nature. Like if something goes on and somebody doesn't show up to where they're going to be, or Danielle doesn't come home, then I would just worry. And I had that when I was a little kid too, because that was probably before the days of the cell phone. So like if my mom said she was running to the store and she didn't come back, like I'm mourning my mother at some point after she doesn't come home. So I can't help but feel like I might be one of these kids. And the headline from the New York Post reads, "Parents are feeling fambushed by teens who are tracking their every move. It was supposed to help parents sleep at night, and now their kids won't leave them alone. Thanks to family tracking apps like Life 360, a new generation of teens and young adults is turning the tables on their parents using the digital leash meant for their safety to spy, stalk, and score snacks at the store. The trend has been dubbed fambushing. It says it's ruining their peace, privacy, and desire to eat queso by themselves.
Oh, man.
I can never run errands in peace, one mother said. Another mother saying that she used to, in the day, when she would go out and run her errands, she would stop by at the Mexican restaurant and have a margarita and queso. Those days are no more because her children are stalking her every move. When your daughter stalks your location and sees that you're out eating Mexican food, not grocery shopping, can't you just shut it off?
I would hope so. Like, don't let your kids see where you are. They do the same thing for you.
I wonder. I know nothing about the app, and I'm sure other apps are different. But I wonder if they stop being able to see you, does that mean you stop being able to see them?
No, I think if you stop sharing your location with them, they can still share. I think their location is still shared with you, I believe.
According to Life 360, teens, especially the driving age crowd, now open the app 25% more than their parents.
Crazy.
And set 70% more place alerts, turning every errand into an opportunity for a family ambush.
Oh, man.
And Gen Z, the first generation of true digital natives, isn't stopping there. I mean, yeah, I think it's... Should you like the fact that your child wants to know where you are?
No. Yeah, no. You got to have your freedom as a mommy and daddy. I have some friends who are in the lifestyle, and they have kids, adult kids who live with them, and they got home on Friday night, pulled into the driveway like 2 seconds before their 22-year-old kid, and the kid doesn't know that they're in the lifestyle.
No.
So they're wearing lifestyle type clothing.
Nice.
So they ran in the house and locked the kid out of the house until they got changed.
Dude, I know that you could be able to hear probably the juiciest of juicy for Drew Garabo Live coming up at 4. But how were the festivities at Caliente? If the since deleted photo tells me anything, I think it was a pretty good night.
Yeah, it was fantastic. The deleted photo doesn't even begin to tell the story. I'll without sharing names other than of course Mr. Fitzwell and Ms. Fox. It was a weekend to behold out there, and I'm gonna destroy some preconceived notions about the community coming up at 4:00 today.
Dude, if you were there, if you saw it, you saw it. The nip slip heard around the world. I'll just leave it at that. I don't know if anybody wishes to say anything else, but
I do.
If you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, then you missed it.
I wish her nipple hadn't. I mean, it was hard not to make a cameo with her bazoombas all hanging out, but like she looked so hot. Like I was just so happy that. For Sarah, that she looked so great.
Looked great. She looked absolutely stunning. And,
but damn, those nipples they got a mind of their own.
Did you notice that, Diz? Because I think you said you saw the 360 photo. Did you notice the Ola, the areola?
Come on, you couldn't not.
No, I'm actually surprised I
Really?
didn't. Yeah, because not gonna lie, I watched it back because I went, "Is that Sarah?"
Yeah,
yeah.
Because of course it is. I was like, I've never seen her wear something like that with a slit down there. I was like, wow.
She'll get a little risque. Our buddy
Good for
Todd
her.
Wright, being Todd, he said, please share this with Sarah. Until you spoke on the air last week about the Twitter guy commenting on Sarah's boobs.
Oh, that happened? I didn't even know about that.
Oh, yeah. I never noticed. Granted, I see her at Pin Chasers on the golf course, but I only see her smile in her golf swing. That is my respect for both of you. And I'm like, well, I'm very sorry that I forced her cans upon you on social media.
That's funny. It was funny because when it was still up, like I saw it and I thought to myself, I also thought maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me or something. I don't know. Sometimes ladies will put like a certain kind of tape or,
she does,
or
yeah.
like a nipple cover or
Yeah,
something. So
not
I
then.
wondered if it was just the edge of the Ola cover or something. So I was sitting there with Danielle and I go, I think that Sarah might have a little nip slip going on in this. And I showed her, she goes, oh, that is absolutely a nipple.
It was. It's unfortunate. I wish I could edit it out. But it's just a piece of skin.
But what a gift for those that got to see it while it was still there.
Yeah, exactly. You had like a good 12 hours to gaze upon her hoots.
So she didn't have any comments about it. Like once it went up, she knew it was up. Or
She was a bit chagrined that her nipple was showing. She wished that it wasn't. But those things have a mind of their own. And so she didn't tell me to take it down. Like just last night, I was starting to think about like her coworkers opening up Facebook at work, and then on a Monday morning, like, oh, let's see.
Dude doesn't want a little Monday morning Ola.
I mean, I do.
I mean, that's the way to get the day started right there.
I certainly do. But what a time to be alive.
If you are printing in your pants, are you proud that it kind of shows it off?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's the opposite for guys. We're like, really?
Well, I also
Nice.
think, it's a hard parallel to draw because if you're printing in your pants, that's kind of the equivalent of what women with big breasts experience every day, no matter what
Okay.
they're wearing.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing they're big, and they're there.
Yeah.
It would the equivalent would be if the tip was hanging out of your zipper. That would be almost.
Oh,
That
okay.
I think would be the.
Which also tends to happen out
Yeah,
there.
the fruit's out the loom. Yeah.
Are you saying that because you were looking for that Fitzwell print?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not
Dude,
at all. I was more, and no offense to him, I was blown away by because I was not expecting that with his wife. I was like, that's his wife?
Oh, yeah. She's
Yeah.
amazing, dude. Yeah.
at
Naomi
him.
Fox and Mr. Fitzwell are great people.
Well, it's funny because I have in the past, just as a friendly share, I've been skimming through X and I'll see Fitzwell's ginormous hog and I'll just flash it over to Danielle and be like, look at that. And she'll be like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I had to tell her. I said, you know what's underneath there. You've seen it before.
It's
a showstopper.
It is a showstopper.
They call it what did they call the because it was interesting that his secret nickname is the same name that they used for the military operation in Iran.
Weapons of mass destruction.
The Midnight Hammer.
Is that what?
Yeah. That's what it was, right?
It was the Midnight Hammer.
Yeah. That's what people closest to him call him.
We do.
The Midnight Hammer.
What a guy.
I teased it, so let me just give you some of these new details that have emerged of an intense alligator attack. And this was in People magazine. It does show you that sensationalism sells. An intense alligator attack on 20 kayakers that left a woman with a nearly severed arm. The attack happened on March 3rd as the group paddled the water on the canal in Polk County, according to the news report the report from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation. That included 64-year-old Christine Salvador, who was visiting the canal with her husband Philip and suddenly felt something bump underneath her paddle near a section of the canal called Tiger Creek. Salvador's kayak then flipped, sending her into the water. The next thing anybody heard was her screaming, "There's an alligator on my arm." She then reportedly kept screaming, trying to keep her head above water. Seeing his wife in distress, Philip was somehow able to drag her to the top of the upturned kayak. However, her arm was still stuck in the jaws of the alligator. At this stage, another kayaker arrived to help before the alligator tore into his life jacket and pulled him under the water. In a feat of huge bravery, a now unnamed man got on top and stuck his fingers in the alligator's eyeballs before taking off his life vest, causing the alligator to swim away with the jacket. The alligator, which was reportedly over 8 feet long, was later captured and killed. Christine was flown to the Osceola Regional Hospital where staff treated her severed arm. She is expected to have several reconstructive surgeries. Dude, to be the guy that poked the alligator's eyeball out, what a man.
Dude, yeah, did he hop on top of it?
It sounds like it, and they have pictures. I will say, the alligator, so she felt the alligator with her paddle. The alligator bit the paddle in half. And then they also have a picture here of the life vest that was on the guy that has big chomp marks on it as well.
Yeah, and I think I read that like they didn't suspect that people were feeding the gator, that it was just aggressive because those people were in the water.
It went over. This says that they believe there could have been hatchlings in the area, and then they think that the guy, this was the one we talked about at the time, they think they went right, they were in super shallow water, and they kind of ended up right on top of the gator. By the way, I don't know this for a fact, but I believe the alligator with the lure in its mouth that I was trying to help out, I believe that it got the lure out of its mouth.
Oh, good.
I saw it last night. Unless there's the exact size gator that looks exactly the same in the same exact spot, there was a happy story with that alligator.
Another happy ending for, I think, the bear that had the toilet seat around its neck for like 2 years. They finally got it off.
Dude, that is, could you imagine?
No.
Living your life for 2 years with a bucket on your head?
No, I can't.
Dude, there's an account that I follow that's for up in LJ, the place where we stay a lot of times, the Kusawati Resort. Dude, they've gone on the 6th month debacle because a deer has a long piece of curved PVC piping perfectly around its neck. And I guess they've been trying to catch this deer for like 6 months, and they can't find it. Things like that are such a bummer.
I know.
It just shows
we do that.
We did it. We absolutely did it. Yeah, we're just not good. Yeah. New Yorkers shelled out roughly $179 million on OnlyFans in 2024. A new study found far below the per capita peak spending in the mountain state. West Virginia, home to the country roads and the mountain mamas, was the number one in the U.S. in money spent on OnlyFans. Per 10,000 residents, $116,000 spent annually, according to the search engine's OnlyFinders, the United States of LonelyFans, the first to delve into state-level analysis on who's spending all the money on OnlyFans. Isn't that it's interesting because it's sexual in nature, but when you just think of things that didn't exist in a time where I think we can see all of these different studies and know that people are struggling financially. Here we talked a couple weeks ago about that study that said everybody's stressing about money. And then now a market that however many years ago did not exist, people across different states can be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on it when, like, I don't think these people were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on pay and play porn.
No way.
No.
Nope. I got a lovely, I had met an OnlyFans lady at the Fitzwell
you
compound.
did?
Yeah, I want you to check her out. Kennedy Markstone. Very nice young lady, extremely pretty, and has an OnlyFans. Really nice.
Dude, I'm sure she's going to have a couple more OnlyFans when she hears that Drew Garabo's been talking about it. The least interested state in the union, Mississippi. Only $54,000 spent annually.
Makes sense. They're busy banging their sister and brother.
Exactly.
So they're
Well,
like,
I need an OnlyFans when I got a family reunion.
well, I want to see some stranger when I got Sister Kelly here.
Married people make up 47% of OnlyFans subscribers.
How do they know that? When you go to OnlyFans, to be single, married, like...
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is a good question. Meanwhile, 36% of users are in the 25 to 34 range. The study also revealed that OnlyFans stars get searched the most. Oh, which gets searched the most? Sophie Rain was number one. Never heard of her. By the end of the day, it might be Kennedy
Markstone.
She's
great.
She might.
Remember sometime near the end of 2022, they wanted to stop the OnlyFans nudity and take away the porn from it.
And make it more of just a social media platform.
Yeah, and then someone crunched the numbers like, we'd be fools.
We can't be doing that.
Yeah.
That's Markson. Sorry, Marksen.
Did you see, I think we beat around it last week, how all of the OnlyFans models are getting mad at Bonnie Blue. Like somehow she's playing outside the rules of sex. Like you can only have sex with so many men or be so I think once you've entered the world of porn, like you can't judge anybody else.
No.
Like, she may be having sex with 100% more men than the average porn star, and they may be civilians, but I just think porno lady on porno lady violence is a bad road to go down.
Yeah, so sex workers should support other sex workers.
I'd like to think so, but she's
broken.
She's gotten a lot of eyes on her, and she is somehow and there's, as crazy as it is, when you think of in your mind, what does a crossover sensation look like in porn, which I think there's only been a handful of them, and I think she hasn't quite proven it yet, but she's doing mainstream stuff. Like, you're not only seeing her on porno sites. You can scroll through X and listen to podcasts, and she's out there doing stuff. So it is interesting that at this time, she may be one of the, if not the most famous sex worker at this moment in time.
Do you think Jenna Jameson was the first crossover of mass appeal? I mean, back in the 70s, Ginger Lynn and whatnot, you'd see them pop
Who
up.
was this? Deep Throat wasn't Deep.
Linda Lovelace.
So that
People
was a
knew who she
mainstream.
was.
That was a mainstream movie or sorts.
I love how you could drop their names like you have their playing cards. Like, oh yeah.
Well, I mean, Deep Throat was legendary.
That was like in the was that like in the theaters?
X-rated theaters, yeah. And she had her arousal button in the back of her throat, so that when she gave a man pleasure,
that's how she got it.
It aroused her.
Dude, what a lady! We need a reboot. We need a reboot, dude. That's perfect.
Monica says that's the way she is. I mean, not to put her business out there, but Monica says that she gets pleasure out of it.
I think Bonnie Blue would be a great person to carry on the legacy.
Couldn't agree more, my friend.
Thank you to everybody who participated in the show today. Thank you, Dizzy. Thank you, Drew Garabo. Drew Garabo live coming up in just mere moments. But before we get out of here, we love telling you about our good buddy, Jeff Borum.
Yeah, a buddy of mine last week said, hey, I got some questions about real estate. Who do you think I should go to? I said, let me just hit up Jeff Borum, my buddy, real quick. Texted him, and within moments, he was helping Danielle out with her real estate problems. He'll do the same for you. Google him, Borham, with any real estate questions you might have.
I got to tell you, I know multiple people right now who are trying to sell in this market. It is not a big spoiler alert that it is tough. And when you get into those situations, you need someone that you can trust and is going to work hard to make sure your house not only sells, but sells for a price that you are comfortable with. And Jeff Borum is a local to the Tampa Bay area. So as these ebbs and flows happen, people move, people go, the flooding that has happened over here, you want someone local. You need that to be Jeff Borum.
Google him, Borham, and you could be packing tonight. Jeff will give you options. He's our buddy. He'll buy your house, sell your house, rent your house, and there's no risk. He'll let you out of the contract at any time. Google him right now. You could be packing tonight. Borham for Jeff Borum.
Senning Show is over.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't worry about them haters. Keep your nose up in the air. You know I got it if you want to come get.
You're listening to Senning Show on 102.5 The Bone. We are Real Raw Radio. 102.5 The Bone. Let's have some summer.